Yeah, I think at 22, we're going to see how the board develops. But I think we'll be in a position later in the first to take the best player available and look down the road who's going to be the best player in 3 or 4 years.
Sweet. Yeah, pretty obvious. It was pretty likely. But I think, like I said before, that when you look back on this draft 10 years from now, people are going to
You
be saying,
do
"How the
not
heck
have
did
any audio, Steel. You do not have any audio.
took Byfield?"
Okay, is that any better?
Took Byfield.
How we doing?
Now I can't hear Joe.
Joe's not talking.
He was. Took
I have to
Byfield.
wait till it does its delay.
There you go.
How we doing?
Because it's delayed
Now I
on.
can't hear Joe.
Joe's not talking.
You have audio now. It just sounds like you're the 1-7 dwarf that talks really low all the time, where it's just like, so I think they're gonna draft such and such, with like a voice that is at like 0.2 decibel. So I think they're gonna draft such and such. Byfield goes with like a voice that is at like, do pick the guy like that. The Kopitar's really gonna help him out to be a very good NHLer in my opinion. Such and Byfield goes with like
Yeah,
a voice that
And
is
like you
at
said,
do
Velarde
pick
can
the
play on
guy
the left
like
side just
that.
as
The
good as center.
Kopitar's really gonna
So
help
they'll
him
play
out
him
to
on
be a
left
very
wing.
good NHLer in my opinion.
They got
Such and
Turcotte. I
Byfield.
don't know how
But either way, they have a lot of forwards they can play around with and decide if they want to trade some of them and whatnot. So it's a good problem to have.
Oh, they're
When you have
stacked up
too
the
many,
middle.
when you have too many forwards to figure out where the heck to put them, that's a pretty good issue to have.
Yeah, that is not a bad problem to have.
He has a few more people at his house because they're probably not in a COVID red zone. I didn't realize Lafreniere was in a COVID red zone. That's why he only had his family there. Where other people, you're probably going to see a few more individuals at their house, like their aunts and uncles, and not just their parents, and that's about it.
I'm going to share this all over the place. We're still live, right?
I don't know how Steel's audio's doing. Our audio has been not just. Yeah, my audio's good.
I'm not sharing it. I'm just saying I'm going to when we're ready.
There were other people, you're probably going to see a few more individuals at their house, like their aunts and uncles, and not just an oral audio. Not just. You still have no audio. Something's wrong with your audio at the.
My audio?
No. Something's wrong with Steele's, where ours is loud as heck, and he has either none or it's very faint. Now your audio, it just in general is faint. Something's wrong with your
It's not the TV. It's probably that. So I can't hear the TV.
as we do this for the draft to the best available people for Ottawa's pick here are Drysdale, Perfetti, Stutzla, not in that order. I just said names. And then you got Raymond, Rossi. I think that's about it for who would get picked third. I do personally believe it's going to be
Oh,
Stutzla,
third,
but
it's Stutzla, no doubt about it.
yeah,
There's no doubt about
I'm
it.
just throwing out other names because you never know. It's
The only
2020,
thing is, if
2020.
I think they're taking Askarov fifth, and if they do, they might take him third just simply because they're afraid Detroit will, but I doubt it.
You still don't have audio. You still don't have it's delayed, so I have to wait audio catches up on the stream. You still don't have you still don't have it's delayed, so I have to wait audio catches up on the stream. You still don't have you still don't have it's delayed, so I have to wait audio catches up on the stream. You still don't have you still don't have it's delayed, so I have to wait audio catches up on the stream. Because when you did have audio, you were very low compared to us too. Also, like the when it did come in for a short time. Yeah. Because when you did have audio, you were very low compared to us too. Also, like the when it did come in for a short time. Yeah. Because you did have audio, you were very low compared to us too. Also, like the when it did come in for a short time. Like the when it did come in for a short time. No, you still have nothing. What do you have turned out? Has to catch up. Yeah, because for mine, since mine's a little bit different, I actually have to keep the mic aux and then NDI source up because my other thing is called something else. And if you keep that up, that's when it has an echo on my end. So you have to get rid of the audio input thing. Otherwise, it has a bad echo. All you actually have on my end for OBS on Mac is just two things: the OBS source and then the thing for my audio. Otherwise, it has a bad echo. All you actually have on my end. Stream still, excuse me, usually like a couple seconds behind, so you got to give it a OBS source and then the thing for my audio. Nope. Stream still, excuse me, usually like a couple seconds behind, so you got to give these OBS source and then the thing for my audio. No, you might want to try to fix it. Maybe it's better to try to fix it outside of a live and record something real quick and see if we can get your audio up since our audios are working, which is usually harder than getting yours to work, so maybe we can get it otherwise. Mm-hmm. Try to fix it inside of a live. See if we can get your audio up since our audios are working harder than getting yours otherwise. It's delayed. No, you still don't have audio. We could probably get mine working since it worked earlier. I would just have to add you.
All right. I just don't understand why this doesn't frickin' bloody work.
And one that I did where I was around for like 18 seconds at 11 seconds at 11 views in 18 seconds.
I hear audio.
Do you hear audio? Do you hear audio?
Yeah.
Well, that's the first time. Now that the massive echo, it sounds like. Since mine's a little bit different, I actually have to keep,
Did it go away?
Well, that's the first time. Now that the massive
I think one of us needs to talk, so when I start talking now, we'll probably see if there's...
Oh, they took Raymond fourth.
as DX
Oh,
was
it's
pitching.
right off the board.
Yeah.
Wonder who gets Perfetti now. There is still an echo.
So I don't know.
Okay, what about now?
Hold on. It takes a little bit to load back. Hold on. It takes a little bit to load back. I didn't have an echo there, so Steve has to talk now to see if he has one.
Okay. Lucas Raymond, that's a big surprise. Doesn't surprise me that Detroit surprises everybody, though. It's compared to Mitch Marner. They
Yeah,
always
it's going to be interesting because Ottawa could take Perfetti here too and get two sick forwards. Like I said, I could see them going offense in the video we did earlier. Pearlo, I never saw them going defense. Yeah,
I bet you. Well, I don't know. I lean Askarov here, and if that's Askarov, look who's going to be left after that. There's a lot of people that had Raymond way down in 9. I didn't think he'd go that low because he's, like I said, Mitch Marner type.
yeah, yeah. He made his professional debut too when he was 16. He's a very good player. Very good pickup for whoever gets him. I was higher than I expected, but do I think?
He's already played in the Swedish Elite League and got like 15
Yeah,
points.
it's
15
higher
points.
than it's higher than I expected going to Detroit there. But is he going to be able to perform like a top 5 overall pick? I think so. So there's a lot of guys that were going to be out of the top 5 because of how heavy this draft is at forward. That probably would have been in it in some others, and Raymond was one of those guys. Now it just turns out he's not out of the top 5, and he actually got picked in the
There's a
top
lot
5.
of drafts where
So
Raymond would have been
yeah,
number 1.
I have no idea. Let me check. That probably in some others, and Raymond was one of those. Turns out he's not out of the top 5, and he actually got.
No, no audio.
No, wait,
Can't hear
no
you.
audio. We had audio. You mean Steel doesn't have
You
audio
don't have
then?
audio still.
That's okay. Pearlo and I are just talking your channel the entire time. You know, you can just be the you could just be the pretty face on. Nah, you still don't have audio. I'm really interested to see what this fifth. My gut is telling me they're going to pick Perfetti, so I'm just going to go with that and hope I'm right. But I
You
would
might
not.
be right because the thing about Perfetti is he lives in the area, and Ottawa likes to take players that live in the area.
Bingo.
I don't know.
I don't know. See what this. But bingo. Yeah, Perfetti's from the area. I exactly think that. I'm really interested to see what this fifth.
In the area.
Bingo. Drysdale's the other guy, I would think.
No, you still don't have audio. Let's just keep on talking while he's doing it. Might as well. I don't know how many. We got
Drysdale's the
somebody
other guy.
on, so let's just talk. Who cares?
guy.
So that was Ottawa. Well, Ottawa pick this Ottawa pick. I think they're going to take Askarov. I really do. I really think they're going to take Askarov here. It would be a smart play for them to take Askarov. They took Jake Sanderson, idiots. You gotta be kidding me, you morons. What a stupid frickin'.
Well, he is one of the top two defensemen.
No. They're gonna look.
So if they didn't pick Drysdale, that would be defense.
He's not even the best defenseman in the draft, probably.
No, I'm saying he's rated the top two in the draft. So if you're not going to pick Drysdale, you're going to pick Jake.
Well,
And
Where the heck
US
where is he from?
this
He's from the
works.
United States, too.
Yeah, he's from the
So his
US
first contract, he's like, yeah, I'm out of here. Like, what are you doing? This is stupid.
Others, Jeff Sanderson, too, who was really good. So he has a good lineage.
I think the Ottawa Senators are going to regret that for.
You got to remember, we got a later pick. They might get Steel later, too. We got to see what Ottawa ends up doing later. Because I think Sanderson's going to be a good defenseman. I expect him to go before Drysdale. Heck,
I think I might have gotten
this
in.
is a we expect.
I don't know. I can barely hear Joe on Skype now. I think the Ottawa Senators are going to regret that for.
We got a later pick. They might get Steel later too. We got to see Ottawa later. I think Sanderson would be a good defenseman. I expect him to.
Oh man. Hey, there's audio.
I don't know. I can barely hear Joe on Skype.
You had audio. I
think that's a terrible.
Well, I got stuff turned up here so I can see if I can hear. And so
I don't doubt that was. I said there was going to be surprises, but I didn't think that kind of a surprise, to tell you the honest truth. Sanderson.
Well, Sanderson, though, when you look at some mocks, was as high as 7.
I'm there.
So
Yeah.
going 5
Yeah,
is not really that big of a jump.
I think we're good.
I think it's a big jump. I think it's a bad pick. Period.
5-7.
We'll find out later, but
that's the way it
my
always
league
is.
that's
the
bad.
way it always is. We always find out later, because these guys are 2-3 years away anyway. So,
well,
yeah.
Just wait till Askarov is like Price-like, and Sanderson is like more like a good 1-2 guy. But
I think they wanted
years down the road, they're going to be like, we could have had the best goaltender of this generation, possibly, and we took Sanderson.
But they did do exactly what people originally expected Ottawa to do, which was take offense, defense.
Well, yeah.
It was just where then, because of the draft and people moving up, people projected a little bit differently and went, maybe they go offense.
Right.
When they were good to go offense, defense, though, we expected Drysdale, but Sanderson is the second-ranked defenseman coming from the U.S. developmental team, which is usually pretty good with defensemen. A lot of people put him to Suter because he doesn't skate as well as some of the other lefties, but he's a guy that can log minutes, it seems. So if you can get him to be even a good amount of Suter, then you got two pretty good picks there. But I'm surprised it wasn't Drysdale as the first defenseman off the board. But somebody else is going to be very happy getting Jamie Drysdale down the boards now.
Really.
That's going to be
That's
nice
for sure.
Yeah.
So
I don't need to say anything more than it's a bad pick. If he turns into Suter, I suppose. I don't see it, but he doesn't have the offensive Suter. He's going to be good. He's going to be like a Morrissey in Winnipeg or something like that. But when you're picking you got a fifth pick, and there's people like Perfetti and Askarov and maybe Drysdale. You can make a case that what's going on? How come your Skype is coming back on?
No, I just sent you guys a chat link.
Oh,
that's
so
to the YouTube.
somehow on YouTube, one of us aren't watching. It says we have actually -1 person watching this. It says 2 people are watching, and that would include us.
Because I have it on me. Yeah, I have it on. Should we tell them we're live? I think we can all hear everything. Everything sounds okay.
Can we hear him?
Yeah, we should be fine.
Okay, good.
Okay.
But Sanderson was projected when you looked at some mocks.
Okay, I understand that, but should I announce this to the world that we're live? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think they'll figure it out because it says on the thing we're live.
No. But I want to. Can you? That's why I sent you guys the link, so you can send it out.
Oh. Send it out. Okay, I can share it.
Hey.
So yeah, send it out. I can share it anyways.
Okay, there you go. That's all I was wondering.
I can just share it from here.
Sure.
So we can start sharing.
Okay, we were dropping some frames there for a sec. We had a little bit of lag there, I think. So you'll have to excuse us.
Anyway, so the 6th pick, Anaheim's like doing backflips right now. They're just like, you got to be kidding me. We got.
They might get Drysdale because one of the guys they were heavily looking at early on, when you would read pretty much anybody's anything,
right,
was how much they love Jamie Drysdale.
They can get Rossi right now.
They could do that too. Yeah.
They don't really need a number 1 center, but Rossi, I mean, I would have took Rossi over Sanderson. I would have taken Raymond over Sanderson if he was there. So they're laughing. They're happy right now.
Just like we are. Hey, we're laughing. Yay!
Let's see. This is a cool video with the Ducks TV.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, there you go. Cool. All right. That's what I was trying to get to.
They took Drysdale.
Hey, there we go. 1 on the predictor card.
There's a good opportunity for them to get Drysdale there.
I got 1 on the predictor card for the night.
Right, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. 1 for 1 so far.
Right.
Probably the only time I'm batting 1,000 all night because I probably get the next one.
Well, nobody expected this to go like this. Like.
Really? I bet you.
Oh no! But when it came to Drysdale at Anaheim, I almost think that fell into their lap. I think that's the guy when Pearlo, you were saying they're going, oh my God. I think he's the guy they're going, oh my God about because he just seems to fit it. He was also compared to a Niedermeyer, who of course had some years in Anaheim, so that's helpful as well. So I think he's going to fit in very well there.
I bet you a certain Mr. Deli is happy.
Yeah, I'm sure he's happy with that pick. Yeah, I would assume so.
He's got offense like his offense is a lot like Makar and those guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
no,
he's not that big. No, he's smaller. Yeah, he's smaller.
No, but he uses every bit of his skill and size. I think he's going to use his size more as he grows a little bit stronger, because he does, when you look at some highlights, use his push people, like use the legal arm extension, like where you kind of keep your arm out pretty well for the league he's in now, but you're going to obviously have to get stronger. Either way, he doesn't need that move. That would just make his game that much more disgusting. I still believe, is going to be the best defenseman in the draft, but Sanderson going first is not dumbfounding to me as it is to Steve, just because I was reading a lot of crap that was kind of, oh, well, he could go first because blah, 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 blah. A bunch of people like the fact that Sanderson does this more than Jamie Drysdale, and I'm like, I don't agree, but cool, that makes sense, I guess. So if it makes sense in their world, guess what? That's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that I'm not, I know I heard a lot of that other stuff too, but I'd bet a lot of money that they're wrong. But we'll see.
All right.
Yeah,
we'll see. Sanderson.
All right.
Sanderson's a big defense stand. They don't want to take Drysdale there because they got a lot of small defensemen already. That's really
exactly.
But you don't take the defenseman there, I don't think. That's the problem.
Really? Why not?
Because there's Perfetti. There's like there's way better players. Rossi, Holtz even.
Okay, so that's why I asked.
Rossi's probably going to
I'm just saying
our favorite team in the draft that has 3 picks in the first round.
Yeah, right.
I gotta show
I think we hinted that, Steve, in our video earlier, that we think if Rossi falls to the Devils, that's probably a pretty good assumption there, as they have about 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to pick.
Oh, do they? Yeah, there you go. Okay. Oh, wait. I have to get the link. Forgot the link. It's
Jamie Hirsch is talking to Alexis Lafreniere on NBC Sports coverage now.
Yeah. That's really cool, man. I mean, look, I'm happy for the kid. It's sad that he's going to go into the Metropolitan, so we're going to have to be dealing with him in the next... you know what I mean? So, but...
I still can't. And then, again, Askarov hasn't gone yet. These guys are going to be so disappointed in themselves that they did that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know who has a chance to pick him as a wild card? If he falls to Nashville, they do have Soros and the other kid, but
doesn't matter.
Lykanen or whatever his name is. But Ukko-Pekka's taken a lot longer, so you might as well take a chance. I would say they're a wild card team. I'm not predicting he's going there, but I would say they're a wild card team to get him.
No, I agree with you on that.
And they are at number 11, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Yes. Yeah,
see, on these,
so let's see here. That's New Jersey Devils. Yep. Okay. They keep flashing up the best available players, right? And Askarov is the first name that keeps popping up on the scroll. But
he's going to be disgusting. Yeah. As a goalie, it's just goalies tend to fall for a bigger reason that Steve and I talked about in our live earlier, which is if you're a KHL goaltender, you get paid a boatload over there. So you have to be incentivized to come over here to get your entry-level contract and then grow.
Exactly.
When you're going to make more than you would make your entry-level. Yeah, that's what we talked about earlier. Other than that,
he's got a 2-year contract for the KHL already, so you won't have him for 3 years.
Right. Okay.
But most of these players are not going to have him.
Yeah. That'll also help his building, though, because playing in the KHL where he already has, like you said in our video earlier, Pearlo is 2 shutouts as a 19-year-old kid. You're going to really be a pretty good pro by the time you come over here.
Actually, he's not 19, he's 18. I forgot. Okay, he's 18. He said 2 shutouts in the KHL.
Even better. Yeah,
even
so
better.
You have shutouts as an 18 kid, so...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's amazing to have 2 shutouts in the KHL as an 18-year-old. It's unheard of.
It is in...
Okay, New Jersey.
Picks in.
They took Holtz.
There you go. Alexander Holtz, Sweden.
Now that pick makes sense for
Left
them.
winger. Yeah, they need some offense.
They
Yeah,
need
they
a
need a
scorer.
guy that can shoot. Yeah, a lot of people think Holtz is a guy that can you kind of just take it and fire it, where he's a guy that people said similar to Matthews, you got to watch him to shoot as soon as he comes across the blue line.
Yeah.
Because he's just going to surprise you sometimes with that brilliant shot of his. He's not going to wait. He'll just come up and fire it, just like Ovi will do at times, too. He's not going to be like, oh, let me just bring this into the zone. He might bring that into the zone and immediately shoot it like Steph Curry shoots three-pointers in the NBA.
New Jersey.
They got a guy, Bratt, who looks like he's really good. Now, there's one thing that does kind of scare me about going off about Sanderson being picked there. Ottawa probably has maybe the second best player development group in the league, and especially defensemen. They don't miss on defensemen. Yeah, remember, this is a team that picked Carlson in the late first and turned him into that, right? So.
Exactly, yeah. They picked top 10 picks since 2015 are Zaka, Ishier, Hughes, and now Holtz.
So now I have a question for you guys.
For the New Jersey.
So do you think any of these top 3 picks play?
Stützle and Lafreniere will probably play next year.
Next year, not this year.
No, this year.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Wow. I wonder. I bet you they gave all these kids. They probably had to give them all 31 jerseys and all 31 hats. Like, could you imagine that? You know what I mean? Like, by the way, we're just gonna send you, like, when they did the NFL draft, they sent all the players that they were gonna invite to the draft a package that had a big camera, and probably what they did with these guys is they sent them a package that has all this camera all set up and everything all hooked up so they can just plug everything in and be doing all this stuff virtually, because that's how we're doing it.
The first selection in 2020.
Yeah, that makes sense. But Sanderson, the kid that Ottawa picked too, what Pearlo was getting at when he brought up him is that kid's only 18 too and very sound on defense. I think they were probably the best team to pick him because of what he just got done saying, which is how good they are at developing. And also they ended up with getting 2 pretty good guys in a big physical defenseman, which is, again, a need we said they had, and Stützle to add more playmaking ability with just a great shot as well. So they kind of got their combination that seemed like what they were originally going for when we first started reading their draft plans compared to more recently, which got them going offense and more mocks recently.
The guy that you compare the last Holtz to, maybe a little less over. No, I don't even know. Probably Lyon.
Okay.
That's
or Phil Kessel when he before the hot dog kicked in.
So this is the last.
Somebody like Phil Kessel or something like that.
Wouldn't that be crazy, right?
Yeah, on New Jersey, yeah, for sure. So I shared it out to a bunch of people. We'll see what happens. I really hope. By the way, I'm not home. I'm not going to be home for 4 days starting Friday.
Where are you going, Mr. Vacation?
Going to Banff.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
I would have told you that sooner, but I forgot it was this weekend.
Oh, this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, well, the draft's over by then. So
the free agency.
And free agency is what, on Friday?
Friday.
I'm
leaving on free agency day.
Okay, well, hey. But we're going to try and do the football game this weekend, Mr. Eagles, yes?
Yeah, for sure. But I was going to say, my pick, and I think this is Cole Perfetti right here going to Buffalo.
You
If
think?
not, I'm going to go with Rossi, but I'll give it to
Yeah.
Perfetti.
I think they traded. I think this is the first trade of the
I
first
thought
round.
they were at first, but I feel like the trade would have been announced
But
before the
you're
time
right.
was-
I agree with you totally.
Yeah,
Cole
because there's
Perfetti
still
is
like
the pick here.
there's down to like less than a minute left on the clock.
Oh wait,
Normally-
Holtz hasn't gone yet. Holtz.
No, Holtz just went. Holtz went to New Jersey.
Yeah, remember
No,
they picked
not
him?
Holtz. Sorry, I meant to say
Oh
Rossi.
no, Rossi's still on the board.
I thought it could be Rossi too. That's why I said my second guy would be Rossi. I just see them potentially. I remember reading a couple things off of Bleacher in different places. Hockey Buzz, I think, was one of them. That they had interest in Perfetti if he kept falling.
Yeah.
They just didn't seem to think he would. So
See,
they also did
actual
not
one
seem
up
to think
here,
Boston,
like
so who they're going to pick.
So they got
the actual television commentator stuff on this, I don't even care what they say because they can't say anything negative about any of these guys, right? Because they look like idiots. So they can't say, "Oh, that was a bad pick" or anything like that. So,
here it comes. The pick is in.
well, actually, they should take Askarov here, but they probably won't.
Sabres.
They should definitely take Askarov here.
Buffalo Sabres, the Ottawa 67, Ontario Hockey League, Jack Quinn.
Jack Quinn? Oh my gosh, this draft is insane. What are you talking about, Jack Quinn?
Win.
This is the
He has
reason
a
why the
good
Buffalo
shot. They wanted a
Sabres
guy
are the
with a
worst
good
organization
shot.
of the last decade, right?
Man.
This is the
Hey,
reason.
they did want a guy with a good shot to play with Eichel. He has a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
Should he have been picked top 10? I had him more 11 through 14, but top 10 from 11 through 14 is not.
What a terrible pick.
11 to 14 to 8 is a little bit of a
Yeah,
jump,
there
but
you
top
go.
10 to 11 is not a.
I guess he's from Ottawa,
Right.
so they figure they can get him on a hometown discount on his first
Hey.
contract. That's about the only.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
hometown. He's 6'7", 176
Well, like they
pounds, and he's
have,
got a good shot. So
yeah.
I mean, you know.
No, he's
If
from
they had-
birthplace Ottawa, and he lives in Corbin, Ontario.
As a top end developer, though, like they have, he could be a top end power play producer and line mate. If not, he's probably going to be more of your, because of his size, a guy that ends up playing. He's quick on the third line and produces and scores. Because I think he's going to be a guy that either hits it as a top ender or plays as a great, always hard working for his size, has a good shot guy, or that's like on your third or second line.
Yeah.
If you can get him to be on your first two lines, that's fine for the 8th overall pick. If he becomes that great speed guy that has good offensive ability on a third line, you drafted him a little bit high.
Well,
I don't draft him there at
No.
all. I especially when Askarov is on the board. These people they're going to look foolish. Like 7 years from now, it's going to be like,
okay.
who
well,
that? What
okay.
that?
Well, all right.
I've seen this is the most weird draft I've seen. I've never seen draft like this before.
Well, I mean, these are different times, and these are, I don't know. These are.
All the general managers came down with the COVID, I guess.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. This is one of those picks that I guess it's a head scratcher, and I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well,
he did score 52 goals in 62 games.
Yeah.
So, that's really what it's all about, right? Like, he has a heavy, heavy, heavy shot. But
And
he doesn't skate well.
Well, I mean, he's obviously going to be a project,
Yeah. But the big thing is he already didn't play on a top line and produce those numbers. Where he was bouncing around, and the big thing is when you jump up and go from 32 to 89 points, you're bouncing up at the right time. That's why when you read everything about Jack Quinn and will watch his highlights, he would eye pop at times like a top 10 pick, but would look more, other than before this year, like a guy that was in the teens or 11 through 14, 15. But you really step up in the final year, and that's going to help you huge.
Plus, that also shows something else too,
like,
Joe. A lot of times when guys get like that a lot of times they get a little bit more mature in their bodies at that point too. So that's why sometimes you see guys get that little bit of jump. You know what I mean? Because now they're that little bit faster, they're that little bit bigger, that little bit stronger than all the other guys they're playing with. You know what I mean? So sometimes I think that has an effect on that as well too.
Well, that's why some people have you in the top 10. If you have a freakish shot like his, it's going to, when you get it up higher, your points production rate, you're going to take notice, and it's going to make you move up a little bit higher. And he can also play all three forward positions, as Moriel said of NHL.com. So you got a versatile player, and we know Buffalo likes to have those versatile players that they've been moving guys around like it's their job in that team for a while.
But you know
so
what, though? I can kind of,
he fits right in.
but I can kind of see where Pearlo's coming from too, because they need some goaltending.
Oh, they do need goaltending. If the one kid doesn't develop, absolutely. They do have some money to spend too if they want to try to lure someone
That's
there.
probably what
So
they're probably going to do.
they have,
because there's a lot. There's going to be a lot of goalies available in the free agent market this year, and there's going to be, especially teams like Buffalo that have money, that have space, that can go grab those guys.
because they're rumored to trade more people too to open up space. They already did make a trade, of course, this offseason, but they have other people on
They're
their
going
rumor
to be
mill.
making a lot of moves, but this pick reminds me of the middle stat pick that they made a mistake on a little while ago. The kid Jack has a game that kicks junior players' butt, but if he tries the same thing in the NHL, good luck. He's going to have to work on his game.
Oh yeah, you got to
adjust. He's got a killer shot, but I don't think he can get in the spots that he gets in the NHL and junior. And I know you're going to say, well, he's got to develop, blah 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 blah. But if I'm picking a player, I don't want to roll the dice on that. I'm taking Rossi all day there, all day. He's for sure taking Rossi all day there. If I'm not taking Askarov, I'm taking Rossi.
I agree. That makes sense to me, but I just like Quinn.
This is Rossi for sure.
Prospects, but after this is in, so I tell the viewers so they don't just see me getting up, I am going to run to the washroom real quick. But I do think this will be Rossi, but who the hell knows with 2020?
Who knows now?
Who knows with this draft? But
could be Elmira.
Cole
like
Perfetti.
Perfetti. Okay, that's the other guy.
Okay, well that's better than
I would expect. That makes sense. That's the other.
Wait,
guy
no. I'm sorry.
Rossi.
They took Rossi. Yeah, my mistake. My mistake.
Yeah,
my mistake. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
That
makes sense.
There. I can't believe Rossi.
Okay, so they did take Rossi then. Okay, my mistake.
Yeah, before I go, though, he's the third ever Austrian. He's going to be a hell of a player. He can play all around the ice. 200-foot game. I had 120 points. So, I mean, you have these last two guys that got picked, 52 goals, which were second in the OHL, and then the 120 points of Rossi led the OHL. So, I think he's going to be a very good all-around player that really keeps the game. He's with his smarts. He's going to be one of those guys. Those guys on the ice that sometimes look like they're not trying, but they're actually trying the hardest. He's going to be. Point. Yeah, pretty much Brady.
He's exactly like Point. He's almost a clone of Point.
I think it looks like they're just going by the business out there, yet they're actually giving it their all just because they're that good. Right. So it just looks like they're going the business out there. I think Rossi, wherever he got picked, was going to be a steal. The fact that he dropped all the way to 9, I think the Wild were probably licking their chops to either get him or Perfetti, and they ended up getting him, of course. And I do think the Winnipeg Jets could be a team that do look at Cole Perfetti here.
That's what I was just going to say. Yep, just going to say.
A little bit more lethal. Yeah.
Yep.
But I'll also be right back because I'm going to run to the bathroom.
Well, good luck.
Back.
Jets on the clock, man. So what do you think, Pearlo? We got...
Probably, I don't know. They're not taking Askarov.
No, they're not.
Because they've got Hellebuck. They've got, there's no way they're taking Askarov.
And you know what? Nashville, are they taking Askarov?
Probably.
Or Florida.
No, Florida's got Sterling already coming up, and Bobrovsky.
Okay. No,
There's
that's why I
no
wanted to ask.
that
That's
it
why I
would
wanted to
make
ask, and
sense.
then maybe
Yeah,
Carolina.
no, I'm just saying. No, that's not
Yeah,
likely the
yeah,
case.
yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
But I think Winnipeg wants a defenseman here, but there's not really, unless they go off the board and take Schneider, they're probably going to go with the winger.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
look here.
Marco Rossi, though, going to the Minnesota Wild.
Great
Yeah, I
pickup.
think that's
Great pick. First time I've said
yeah,
that.
right?
They're like, their eyes were popping out of their head. They're like, you're kidding me? We got Rossi? Oh my God. And do they ever need
Yeah,
him?
he looks like he's got some
They
nice scoring
certainly need
touch.
him. They needed that number
Yeah,
one
and
center.
looking at his highlights here, he's got some nice scoring touch too, man. He's got a nice little wrister too. He's 5'9" and 183 pounds, so he's a little thick for being 5'9", but he might grow a little bit. You know, he's still young. He might put a couple more inches on him.
I wouldn't worry about his size even a little
Well, okay,
bit.
that's what I mean. At 5'9" and 183 pounds, that's not bad.
He is a freaking
That's a low center of gravity. Yeah, man, that's exactly right, dude. That's
You should see they've showed like his training and stuff like that he does. It is insane, man. I would have been all over Rossi if I was Ottawa.
Yeah.
All the way up here, like taking Quinn over Rossi. No way.
I honestly think what dropped Rossi, for jumping back into that, is there's not many Austrians other than him. There's only two other players that have been picked from Austria in the first two rounds, or in the first round, excuse me. Sometimes that was on scouts, bless you, until there's more guys picked from that area. That's why we've seen Germans fall before, like Draisaitl, where Stützle, because of Draisaitl helping to pave a way for them, probably didn't fall. If Dre was not as good as he is, I'm sure Stützle might have got picked more around 10 than 3 because of people being nervous about people playing in the German league and coming over. But Dre kind of put a stop to that.
They're showing.
Winnipeg will take Lundell or Jarvis, I think.
Really? You don't think they're going to take Perfetti?
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Perfetti's there, isn't he? That's right.
Yeah.
They'll take Perfetti.
Yeah.
But you know what? The reason why people are shying away from Perfetti is showing a bit of an attitude.
Yeah, because he's cold for it.
He's what? he's basically like come out and said he doesn't want to go to a team that's a dump and chase team and kind of stuff like that, like very kind of immature-ish type stuff. So I think that's why he's falling here.
If he somehow keeps falling and the Flyers trade up for him, I would not mind that in a million years.
No.
Who, Perfetti? Getting Perfetti?
If he falls to Edmonton,
well, looks
he's not getting past Edmonton, my friend. No way.
No.
Coming from the resident,
up a lot, but I'm just saying.
Coming from the resident, I don't think it's going to get past there. No.
I think it's got to be. I think Winnipeg's got to take him here. But weirder things have happened. Lundell is more of a defensive type center.
Okay, and what about LaPerriere or Holloway?
They're going to need. That's a good point. They are going to need more added scoring, though, which the best is from Perfetti. Other than Jarvis, who has that, but he's a little bit.
Perfetti is the more.
A little bit up at 10.
He's the guy that could be the more dynamic. So.
But if you're getting rid of Line A, you're going to need to add in more scoring. Perfetti has your best chance of adding in more scoring.
Yeah, true. And he can play wing very well, too.
So they're pretty much going to be expecting him to play this year?
No, I'm just saying he will replace Line A in scoring. I don't think he'll play immediately.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think any of these kids are going to play. I don't even think Lafreniere's going to.
Lafreniere's going to play.
I don't think he's going to.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
doubt.
I think the Rangers will put him up. I think the Rangers are going to automatic. The Rangers usually are a team too that put their guys to let them try to develop in the NHL. So the fact that he's with them probably makes that more likely compared to being with others. Where Ottawa with Stutzla, they might.
Crystal Howardchuk is announcing the pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I am thrilled to announce the 10th selection in the 2020 NHL Draft. Winnipeg Jets select from Saginaw Spirit.
Cole Perfetti. Yeah, they took him.
Nice. I think what am I 2-1 now? I got the one wrong and then I got this one right again, thinking that they would get Perfetti along with Steele, who's now 1-0 since it was his first guess.
Right.
So,
It made sense to take Perfetti. I just forgot Perfetti was up there, but then now we got Nashville, and I guess they got
Smashville.
Perfetti.
If they pass on the goalie, they're going to take Lundell. I think that's a mistake. I mean, I think all of these are mistakes, except for this one. I can understand this. You can't take. They couldn't take Askarov with Holloway there. It didn't make sense.
Well, what you mean to say is like my name plate license plate from Bridgestone Arena says the Smashville Predators are on the clock.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Smash.
It seems like everything happens at speed. Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna like that pick. I think that Perfetti could be the surprise forward of the draft. Nobody has sicker hands than Perfetti.
I mean, yeah,
Like,
he
his
does
hands
look
are
good, man.
insane.
And boy, he's got some
his
sense.
hands are crazy.
He's got some good sense too.
Oh, yeah.
Like some what he knows where everybody is, and you know what I mean. And that's
He's got a high IQ.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He could be
high hockey
he could be
IQ.
the player that everybody goes. He could be the player where everybody goes, "How the heck did that happen?"
How did we miss
how
on this
did he
guy?
drop
Yeah, how did we miss on this guy? You know.
Yeah, sort of like Coots going down where he did in his draft, which was ridiculous. I couldn't believe when they were. I was like, "They're not taking Couturier?
Yeah, right.
Are you freaking mad? What are you doing?"
I think it had a lot to do with the fact that he had mono, like right during the draft year, and so he didn't show out real well in his draft year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you got to be smart enough to know what kind of talent he was before the draft, and he was insane. And Mono's not going to do anything to his career. Like,
no, but that's what I'm trying to say, because he missed a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, I don't call that an excuse.
Oh no! Hey, look, the other teams are the ones making excuses. We're the ones that got him. I don't care what other teams think. We're the ones that picked him up. We're the ones that saw through all
that. When Philadelphia grabbed him, I was like, "We are back."
Yeah, right.
I was like, unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when we got him. It's like
I can't believe we haven't had a trade yet. We're in the 11th pick and we haven't had a single trade.
Yeah, I thought there would have been trades by now too, especially with this grab bag of picks here. You would have thought that somebody could have, went down.
That's what I mean.
The draft.
I can't believe there hasn't been a single trade, and unless the fact that the trade deadline or the free agency starts on Friday, you know what I mean? That could be why, and maybe also because the fact that the cap is not going to go anywhere too. That might be another reason why they're not doing any trades. You know what I mean?
Well, no, trades are going to happen because the cap, but it's weird.
But that's what I mean.
would have thought.
I would have thought
there's
someone would
be
happen now.
like free agent season's going to be light this year. It's going to be trades that people are going to be the big thing this year, because you can give up dollar for dollar in trades, right? Sign a free agent and you got to take their whole cap because they're a free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can.
On the clock.
That's Drysdale.
Right, did you put that? Did you see what I did there? I put Smash Mouth or Smashville on the clock.
That's. Oh.
Yeah,
Did you?
in the quote or in the live chat, I put who's on the clock and then who they select.
Nashville. Huh? Nah. Yeah. That's a place that I want to go to visit too, because Nashville's supposed to be an awesome city to visit to begin with. Plus, the Predators are a pretty fun team to watch. So it'll be interesting how much more fun they're going to make their team to watch in about, I don't know, a minute or so, whenever this commercial's over and the draft comes back.
Right. I just saw a tweet that says Leline is probably not going to be coming to the Flyers because they asked too much. So.
Line A?
Line A, I'm sorry.
Why?
I'm sorry, Line A.
Yeah. No, the Philadelphia can't compete with what's going to be out there for Line A, I'm afraid. They'd have to it was going to take York in their first at minimum.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure somebody will beat that. So.
A lot of people said they were asking for Sanheim, which the Flyers
they want
has
they want a defenseman that can play now. Yeah. And that's not just Sanheim. They won't go straight across for Sanheim. There's going to be Sanheim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Predators are on the clock with 5 seconds left to.
Oh yeah.
Ascara. Maybe Lundell.
Somebody has to turn down their tally. Thank you. Oh, that's.
Yes. They did take Ascara. There you go. Nashville Predators will be in the Cup contention in 5 years. I'm telling you right now. You watch. When that kid comes over, it's going to be insane. And he knows it too. You look at the pictures, like he knows he's the best. Like there's no. Look at it. Look at the picture there. Like he's kind of Patrick Wash in attitude too, which is annoying, but he's just insane.
If you're good, you're good. One of the other top guys in Hasek didn't have the most peachy keen attitude either by any stretch of the imagination.
He was just really eccentric. He had a very eccentric. And of course, so is his play. Very eccentric, right? Like, yeah. Spencer
Tuke
Knight
was a
is
fast
who Florida
pace
has.
Yeah, Knight Florida has, yeah.
So, like, Florida wouldn't have been able to take him because they already got Spencer Knight, who's going to be a beast of a goaltender too, but...
That's why you got to trade him, though, because you got Spencer Knight, but you got Bob locked in for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no, you don't want to keep Spencer Knight.
Yeah, you could trade Spencer Knight, I guess. I don't know if how much you get for him, but yeah, you could do that.
So,
not now. I mean, more like when he's knocking right
down the road. Yeah.
So he's in Russia for the next 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have to see. He's at least 2023.
Yeah, as soon as he's done his KHL contract, he'll be over here.
Okay.
So after that, and I'm hoping he's got and apparently he doesn't have an out either. So I don't blame him. He's probably getting $1.5 million. I was just gonna say
he's probably making some big bucks over there for that, man.
Yeah, tax free.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't blame him a bit. Like, I don't blame him. I would do it too if I were them. That's why Russians don't get picked, though, because they're not going to come over. They're going to make their money first, right?
But then again, I guess Nashville is willing to wait the 2 years for him. You know what I mean? Unless, could they outbid the KHL? Would they? Could they? Can they?
No, they can't. No, they can't do that. the first 3 years of any contract is called an ELC,
Entry level contract. Yeah, I know.
entry level contract, and it can't be over 1.1.
No. But what I'm saying is so he's probably getting the max from the KHL, so we couldn't go over above that.
We couldn't go over 1.1. No, the KHL can pay him whatever they
But
want.
we can only go to so far. In the NHL,
That's
the
right.
NHL can only go so far.
That's right, and that's assuming he plays in the NHL right away. If he has to go to junior, he's making like bus money, pretty much.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, I'm not going over there unless I'm going to play in the NHL right away. And oh yeah, by the way, I'm not going to go to the AHL where I'm only going to make $70,000 a year. Yeah, I don't blame him a bit. You got to take your millions for sure right away, because you never know, you get injured, and
Yeah.
you better have a couple million in the bank
Or something.
You know?
You better have some kind of plans or something. You know what I mean? And yeah,
Of course.
I guess that's why that's why they don't pick the Russians and everything like that too. But this is like one of the first couple goalies now since 2013 that have been taken in the first round.
Yeah.
Well, there's just the one they were talking about from Florida. Spencer Knight. He got picked in the 13th pick last, 15th, or was it 15th, something like that. But he got picked in the first round last year. Yeah, it doesn't happen too often.
Right. I mean,
Fleury
was a number 1 draft pick. He's the last number 1 draft pick goalie that I can remember.
He is the last one.
Well, there you go.
And I don't know if there was one before.
Last one you remember.
Was Price? No.
This is either Lundell, Jarvis, in my opinion. For Florida. Those are my top 2 guys for them. You just saw Jarvis mentioned with them a boatload. And Lundell was the guy mentioned with them, so I'll go with those 2 guys.
I think they'll go with Jarvis.
Really?
I think Lundell's going to fall because his skating is an issue.
What about like Amirov or Mercer, Dawson Mercer, or I don't know. I'm just
Amirov might
could be Mercer. Mercer would be decent.
Yeah, Mercer could get picked. Radion will be a little early because again, KHL playing in the MHL, he could go to the KHL just to make some money. You never know.
And here we go.
They took Lundell.
Lundell. Okay. Yeah, I figured it was Lundell or Jarvis. Lundell, though, we got to remember, nobody thought Pedersen could skate.
No, I don't think Lundell's in Pedersen's class, though. No.
He's a guy that, but a lot of people didn't think Pedersen was in Pedersen's class. That's why he dropped to where he did. So I'm saying,
no, I mean,
if he could second line,
he doesn't have the hands that Pedersen had. The only problem they had with him is he was so slight. Yeah, but yeah, and I messed up on Pedersen, honestly. So.
Well.
Yeah, I think Lundell decent at 12. He could be a good second line center, in my opinion, at least. Now, is that good enough for 12? I would say that's good enough for the 12th overall pick. If you wanted to draft a first line center, then maybe that's not. But a second line center, that's a very productive one at 12. I would be okay with, because you're trying to build a good new core down there in Florida, because you still don't have an overall team. You got a just grouping of people down there right now.
Yeah, they're going to lose Dadanoff and Hoffman this year. Doesn't look good for Florida for the next little while, that's for sure.
No, so I think somebody with the potential of Lundell might not be a bad risk. You just got to hope the risk pans out on the back end.
Well, hey, they it's not like they don't have time to, they have some time.
Unless they lose their franchise, but besides
yeah, unless they lose their franchise, but for the most part, they have some time to develop the kid. I mean, all these players.
Now it's going to be interesting.
This is something else that I think that we should say too, because this year we haven't seen, there hasn't been a lot of the early games played with the lower leagues and stuff like that, and also the fact that we're going to have probably an interesting kind of training camp coming in for this year because of the whole pandemic and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see how these rookies come in and how they handle coming onto their teams and how the teams handle these rookies and how we're going to do these training camps, because I think that's going to have a lot to do with whether or not some of these rookies play or whether or not they or what we do with them, because there's no AHL, there's no ECHL, there's no WHL, you know what I mean? There's none of that stuff going on right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think the Western Hockey League is going to start up though, but yeah, if anything, they're going to, because they're playing. There's a whole bunch of people. They'll probably send them all over to Europe, and Europe will be awesome for a year.
Yeah, but Europe had, they've had some resurgences and stuff like that, and you know what I mean. It
doesn't seem to bother them. They're all playing. They're all playing in Europe. All the leagues are going.
They have all the soccer leagues are going. They have all that stuff going.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Well.
Yeah, it's all going. Right in the heart of this, all this COVID stuff, there was leagues playing soccer.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that, but
yeah, Sweden's got all the games going.
Okay. Well, so this.
There's guys going over to Sweden already. Tons of guys going over there already. Signing contracts until by the week or by the month until they can come back to the NHL. Might be some fun hockey to watch over there. Some of the talent that's going over there right now.
Yeah, a lot of these got some good prospects from teams heading out to Sweden, back to Germany, back to Finland, wherever they're from, Czech. And it's making those leagues definitely, as you said, a lot more interesting to be able to follow this season for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised here. Well, we're going to find out how bad Hendrix Leperrier's concussion problems are right about now, I would say.
Because you think Carolina's a team that has top consideration for him?
Yeah, I think they would take the risk because they're really kind of stacked all through their lineup with prospects, so they can take a risk like this, and if it works out that Hendrix Leperrier's fine, they look like geniuses. Yeah. You've got a Bergeron type player to play with Aho in the middle. Whoa.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true. They could also get a Mercer because he's fairly solid on both ends of the ice as well. That's a potential kid to get there.
He's been compared to Wheeler.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then if they want to get a more offensive touted smaller guy, they could take a risk on Jarvis, since the risk for Jarvis is, will his size be able to keep him going for a good lengthy career in the NHL? Can he put on the muscle to last for a bit?
Well, we want to select him, or don't we? Or I don't know. I wouldn't mind having him.
I don't think
you could take Holloway here too.
We'll see what happens, but I don't think he'll fall all the way to 20.
They took Jarvis.
They did take Jarvis. Well, he's definitely not going to fall all the way to 23.
So much for that.
Oh, Jarvis is from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah,
who did Winnipeg pick again?
Well,
yeah, he's a very good one to get. His size is the only concern. His skill is nothing to be concerned about. Is more, will he be able to have a lengthy career? Can he continue to grow and put on muscle to have a good lengthy career? Other than that, his skill. Some people, I've heard Danny Briere too, because of his size too.
And his scoring touch.
That's a guy you can put him with. He has the nice soft hands, exactly, with playmaking and scoring touch. And he's right-handed too. So it makes you think of a Briere a little bit. I think that's a good pick for them. Like you said, they could take a risk anywhere. They decide to take a risk with a guy that's only not really downside, but question mark is will his size play in the league? And I think it will because we're seeing the league trend to a more skilled, soft hands, playmaking, scoring lead than it was
Right,
brute
right.
physicality.
And as long
back
as
in the
you're
day.
like 5'10" or a little bit thicker, you know what I mean? Closer to 200 pounds, 5'10", 5'11", closer to 200 pounds, I think is you be last a little better.
Unless your name is Goudreau.
Yeah, because nowadays you kind of just have those physical cats mixed in that you see good with these great teams, but you don't have them spread throughout a lineup with good skill mixed in with guys that had skill and physicality like it was only like 10 years
Yeah.
ago. So that's why I think Jarvis to Florida makes sense because they got to make up for their losing their playmaking and scoring. And who doesn't want a guy that had 98 points in 58
I mean,
games?
look,
That's a
yeah,
good guy.
98 points,
8 games.
58 games. That's higher
Yeah.
than Briere's numbers. Like, this guy is some skilled. I don't even know where I would put him. He looks a lot like a guy like Skinner, actually, but I think he's possibly better than Skinner. It's hard to say, but that's a lot of points in junior, man. It's a lot of points in junior.
Well,
Comparable.
Couturier had
him to
92, I believe, or was it 90? He had 3 years in the juniors where he was at 90.
Couturier, but that was in a full season. Couturier, this kid did that he's got over 2 points a game in junior level. That is rare air. Not too many players had over 2 points a game, like Crosby. That's like not
I
too many
know.
players had
I
over
know. I know. I'm with you.
That's crazy. So you don't know, like, his ceiling is insane. The NHL talks about how it's easier for smaller players, but to get they still smaller players to get in the league and stuff like that. But a guy like Seth Jarvis drop in here kind of makes me wonder, especially with a team like Winnipeg. I like Perfetti, but he's from Winnipeg. The guy's from Winnipeg. He's from Winnipeg. So you get to have a hometown discount right off the bat. And Winnipeg has a hard time keeping players because, it's
I know.
Winnipeg.
Hey, Flyers Nitty Gritty said that they would trade Steel Joe and Steve for Line A.
Would trade.
Oh, we got some people on here. Talk to us in the bottom.
Yeah,
Tell
man,
us some
it's
stuff about
Flyers
how
Nitty Gritty, man. He said, he said, yeah, well, darn right, let's go, yeah. So they would trade all of us three for Line A. Like, all right.
Okay. Sure. So what is Winnipeg getting? Winnipeg's getting a whiny, bald dude.
An old guy that's got a bad leg.
Yeah.
I mean, what? I'm not. I'm younger, but I still have very crappy parts of my body from playing sports and having injuries over the years. So definitely not going to be the most. I love playing hockey, but I'm not in the category of being too amazing at it. So yeah, it would definitely not fall into a good.
He said, let's go. It's logical. They get legends. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm following while I'm looking at the chat.
So who's next here?
Oilers.
Oilers
select.
Right?
Who do they get?
You're at Oilers.
They wanted Jarvis all day.
I know. You know who I think?
I know who they're taking.
I think you might chance a pair there if you don't get a goal.
No, I don't think so. Oh, maybe. You got a point, but yeah, you know what? You could be right there, actually, because it's Holland drafting. I forgot. If it was our old scouts, it'd be Mercer all day.
Okay.
Mercer.
Okay.
But with Holland there, it's hard to say.
You don't think they would go after?
There you go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oilers select.
I don't think who they go after. They won't take a defenseman.
No,
there.
you know, and you don't think they're going to take a mirror off?
You don't think there's a chance?
Well, the pick's in.
Dylan Holloway.
Oh,
I don't
Okay.
like that.
Dylan.
He's from Calgary. They took the Alberta boy.
Yeah, he's going to play the wing potentially in the NHL 2 left wing, so it's not a terrible pick. I don't think it's a bad pick for you guys. You just got to develop him correctly. I mean, I think you guys have been pretty good at developing some of your forwards you picked, so hopefully now with Holland, and like you said, I wouldn't doubt Ken Holland. He probably has something up his sleeve, knowing something about Holloway that one other person on the planet probably knows or something like that. So
Yeah.
I hope so.
At 6
I don't
foot,
like
at
that
6 foot,
pick.
203 pounds, he can be exactly what they
He was
need. Yeah.
he was projected to y'all actually in a couple mock
Oh,
drafts.
really?
From Wisconsin. Yeah, he was projected at 14 because he plays a great 200-foot game, and they think that fits in while being great along the edges and forecheck. He's also a powerful player that's going to grow more into his body. At 6 foot, he plays a little bit bigger than he is, and he already has a very good shot and defensive ability. His thing is, will his offense hit peak? It's more as he's probably going to be a very good 200-foot player. But if he's only a very good 200-foot player, will that allow him to play in the top 6? Where if he becomes a good 200-foot player and then shows signs of developing offense, that's going to make him a very good top 6 player. So the question is more, will he hit on the offensive end to be a continuous, 50 points guy at least, to be a great guy in your top 2 that's just going to D up the other team's best potentially as well. So that's a wait and see type of pick there for me, because Holloway's a guy I literally never usually rank people from 10 different spots, but I had ranked from 14 through 22 because I don't think there was anywhere to actually peg Dylan Holloway.
Okay.
So it doesn't thoroughly surprise me, especially because 3 different mocks I read had him going to Edmonton. But I just thought with how this draft had people fall that I didn't think would fall, that's why I said some other names and did not put Holloway's name out there. But
that's good.
I guess they just stuck with their gun.
They're gonna have to wait for him for a couple of years here, anyways.
Correct.
And his offensive upside is questionable. I would have taken if you're gonna have to do that anyways. I would have taken Amirov.
That's who I was.
At least
that's who I would have said that they should have taken. It was Amirov,
or Noel Butler, something like that. But all right, we'll see. We'll see. I trust Hall.
Okay.
So
Leafs are on the clock. So
Schneider all day. Braden Schneider, no doubt about it. It's not even.
Should I just type it out
really.
now? Leafs.
Braden Schneider, you might as well just type it out.
Okay, so I should just type it out now.
If he doesn't get picked, first of all, if he doesn't get picked by the Leafs, he's likely going the next pick to
Canadians.
Montreal. Montreal's going to be very happy if he doesn't get picked by Toronto here.
And if he does, then it's Noel Gunler. Montreal could go off the board here. This is when things could go off the board. Oh, Montreal could take a chance on LePerrier, French-Canadian. So if Montreal doesn't take LePerrier, that we know that his concussion issues are still a problem, and that's too bad. Because I'm pretty sure they would take him otherwise.
Any
Flyers
relation?
maybe wants Jakob Perreault. They said draft a sniper in Jakob Perreault.
So the old LePerrier back in the day, I don't think so.
No.
I haven't heard any thoughts.
No.
It's a pretty common French-Canadian.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know.
It is a pretty common French-Canadian name.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Common.
No, that's okay. That's why I was asking.
Good question because LePerrier was a great player.
Who has concussion issues?
He had concussion issues?
Well, he got...
at the end of his career.
Yeah, he got
with
hammered. Oh, man, he took a puck to the face. and it just opened him up, and it was bad, man. It was really bad. Like, I thought that Pronger's hit was bad. Ian LePerrier's looked worse. Anyway, so I was just asking to see
Yeah.
who are the Maple Leafs going to select.
I also believe, though, before we move on to them, the reason they picked Holloway is what I was getting with Pearlo earlier with his team with Edmonton is they got to have a guy that can keep up with their quickness there. They already have.
Yep.
Holloway, while being a good defender that can develop offensively, is one of the better skaters in the draft. So I felt like Edmonton was automatically going to pick someone that was pretty
Right.
good on their skate. Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes complete sense. You know what I mean? Because that's something that they're definitely in the need of. You know what I mean? So there you go. Man, there's all these
Well,
teams.
yeah, because you don't want slow people with skill in the top six at Edmonton because they're going to feel like they're about to have a heart attack in a good 3 minutes of playing with Yamamoto, McDavid, Draisaitl, etc.
Yeah,
So,
right. All right, here we go, man. We got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2,
Schneider.
1. Let's see.
it's Marner's announced
They
the
took
pick.
Rhodey and Amirov.
Well,
Wow.
Miroff, okay.
There's
they took
going to
Miroff.
be some extremely upset Toronto fans.
Hey, well, we did talk about how good we think
I don't
Miroff
think it's a
is.
raw bad
Might be
pick.
upset. No, they might be upset for a couple years, but once Amirov comes over, they might be like, "Oh, what were we upset about again? Do you remember
Yeah.
why we were mad?" Oh,
He's
no,
pretty
I don't.
sick.
It's like, oh, okay. It's like, anybody remember why I was pissed off?
Yeah, right.
But no, that's a fine pick because he gets into the shooting lanes. We talked about this. Toronto
Oh,
needs a
yeah.
guy that's not afraid to get in
No.
front. Like they say, a net front left wing is actually how it has it described here. But get in front of the net, but not just in front of the net. Get in front of shots. Play bigger than his size is.
Yep.
Keep growing into his body. He has a ton
He's
of
a
skill.
gritty kid.
Yeah, gritty two-way player.
You know who he
that
reminds me
team-
of? He reminds
Go
me of Palat.
That makes sense.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a good
Yeah. Yeah. Really good pick. I mean, I know they need defense, but anybody, like, I wish the Edmonton Oilers would have took him, really. I really do. But I think that
He's
pick could
not
end
signed.
up being,
He's not signed by the KHL. He doesn't have any deals or nothing in place.
I would imagine he probably does.
I believe he does. He played in the MHL, though, their minor league. He hasn't really played much in the K yet, but you still get tons of experience there among older players as well. So
He did
he's
turn
going to
19 just the other day here.
By the way,
Correct.
that was
yeah,
Pittsburgh
birthday
Penguins
weekend,
pick,
yeah.
right?
Correct. That should have been Pittsburgh's pick. I believe you're right. Yeah.
Because of the trade. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did announce that because of the Kapanen trade. So that was Pittsburgh's pick right there at 15. So we'll always be having an eye on that one.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. So what do we have next? Montreal. Montreal will take Braden Schneider for sure.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like if he didn't go there, it was almost set in stone to go next to Montreal. But
if he doesn't, if they decide to go for because they need shooters too, right? If they decide to go with the shooter and Gunler, I bet you Chicago would take Mercer, and then New Jersey would get their defenseman Schneider, and then they could take possibly Caden Goulet and Schneider.
Really? So that
Yeah.
does that leave us with Jacob Jacob Pearlo, or is that how you say his name?
Pearlo,
We were talking about it today. We came to the decision that we should take William Vollander.
William Vollander. Okay.
If we want to pick defensive, because he's 6'4", can move, he has a chance to be another at minimum a guy a tier below Hedman because of his size, and at maximum probably Victor Hedman. So yeah, that's a good guy to probably
I'll
pick.
take that.
So where Lucas Raquel as a shooter, though, same with Perreault, I'm indifferent between those two guys. But Turk I more like because of his overall game, the one guy I wrote about more than his straight line shooting. But Raquel and Perot, those are guys you want to look for to be able to kind of just shoot the puck, especially Perot, but don't sleep on Raquel either. He has a hell of a shot, and I think some people sleep on his ability to shoot the puck rather than just being a playmaker. He definitely has the ability to shoot. He played in the Dell. He's played amongst men already in Germany,
Yeah,
so I think
that's what
he's
that's a
good
good.
pick.
To me, that would be if we could get that pick, that would be man. Whew. All right,
One of those two.
yeah, any one of
Yeah,
them
so
too.
one of
Any one of them too. I'll take that all day long. Any one of them too.
three. I said three people. One of those three people. I suck at math.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So far, we were talking about a guy that's going to
That was-
fall. There's nobody that's really falling here. It was a weird draft at the top, but it's been pretty standard. It's like the opposite of normal. There's nobody falling really.
Well, somebody fell in Perfetti to 10. That's a fall.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but nobody's falling like slip right through the cracks and go right
Oh,
down.
okay. I got
Why
it.
didn't anybody take
because Askarov even went too within the top 15 picks. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's
Hey, he also went
I'm,
to
tell-
the sleeper
I'm
team.
telling you that
Yeah.
is that
Went
he
to
might
my
have saved.
sleeper team. I called for him too. Yeah.
He might have saved that franchise from having to go through a complete rebuild with that pick. That was a great Nashville must. Yeah, they were doing backflips if they got him at that spot. Like,
Oh yeah,
awesome.
that's why I called them a sleeper pick, because I didn't know when we were talking at the time if he would get there. But I definitely thought they would be a good sleeper team for him if he got there. Turns out he did, and they were probably very happy. And like you said, I believe this one will be Schneider. It seemed like they were going to debate picking Goulet here if they didn't have Schneider
Okay.
fall
Mark
here.
Bergevin's up. You got to say one thing about Mark Bergevin. The guy is cut. Eh? He's huge. Guy's like freaking. They took Goulet
Goulet.
over Schneider.
They did take Goulet over Schneider. Okay, that was the guy
Oh.
originally projected by most to be going after, but since Schneider fell, I was kind of rolling with you there. I should have stuck with my gut and not rolled with you and guessed Goulet. I'm kind
Yeah.
of pissed off now. Yeah,
how
Yeah.
dare
I'm
you?
not surprised.
How dare you?
I'll get it.
I'm not surprised. I'm not really surprised by that pick, actually.
No.
I kind of waffled between the two. Like, I don't think it's a bad pick at all. I think Schneider will play sooner than Goulet, but Goulet probably has a higher upside than Schneider. So
It also depends a right D to a left defenseman. But Goulet might be more of a guy that logs. I have a feeling he's going to be a chance to log the 25 more minutes, a tad bit more than Schneider, because Schneider doesn't have the fluent come to you as easy on offense while looking like you're not even trying, where he's very good on the defensive side as well, but sometimes needs to work a little bit. It seems like he's working harder out there. It's not as seems like it comes as simple to him, but they're both going to be heck of defensemen. I believe Schneider's going to get picked soon, but Goulet, I'm not surprised when first either. I mean, I've talked to you about Goulet a ton, Pearlo, and I mean how much I love him. So, yeah, him getting picked there, I think that's going to be a great pick for them. So, congratulations for them for getting him at that pick. I was hoping he might have fallen to us, but it didn't happen, and pipe dreams are over. So,
yeah,
Well,
Schneider's a safer pick. Schneider's a safer pick. Goulet could end up not making the NHL altogether. Schneider will make the NHL. It's just if Goulet does make the NHL, he's probably going to be, in the end, a better player than Schneider, which sounds weird, but that's risk reward. He's more of a risk reward.
Even being on the Canadians, you still think he would still not have still not play more so, you know what I mean?
Being on the Canadians makes it less likely. Their development team, their look is pretty bad. So, like I said, you look at every draft and we'll go down and say, oh, that's a really good player. But some of these guys are not going to make it, even that we've talked about right now, almost guaranteed. Not all these guys are going to make it as NHLers. It always seems like they're going to, and then some of them don't. and some
What
of
is
them
it
are
like? 40% of the guys that are selected don't make it.
out of the whole draft or the
Out of
top.
all of the whole draft, out of all the guys,
That's probably
Oh, I would even say it's higher. It's less than that. Like maybe 20% of the 20% of the whole draft maybe make it
okay.
for just to make it to the NHL.
Yeah, just to
Out
make it
of
to
those
the
guys,
NHL. And I'm not talking about being a star or I'm just talking about.
like play one game. You're
Oh
talking
no, come
about
on! You
like
got to
maybe.
play at least a season or two.
Hendricks.
Oh
Looks
no,
like
I wouldn't even
Hendricks.
say high.
Okay.
10% maybe. Yeah,
It
10,
looks like
15%.
Hendricks Laperriere.
Might go to the Canadian or the Chicago.
The Chicago Blackhawks because they were just on the
Wow.
phone. Um,
If they take
So-
Laperriere and he turns out, you've got Kirby, Doc, and Laperriere
with Taze to help mentor them if you
with
keep
Taze to help mentor them.
them. Yeah.
That is sick.
Oh, and Dylan Strome. We can't forget about Dylan Strome. He had a pretty solid season last year if he keeps developing pretty well for
Yeah,
them in
I think
Chicago and Chi-Town.
probably
That's
would
a
be
good
traded.
addition. Potentially, he can play the wing, though, too. It's a good problem to have too many forwards.
He's too slow for the wing.
Yeah, but he could be strong enough for the wing because, like, JVR used to actually use his size before he forgot how to do that.
He does have a lot of concussions already.
2, yeah.
Correct.
And
Yeah, but he has a ton of
and he
skill.
was diagnosed with CCT.
I
or
hope
something.
he gets picked because if he gets picked now, it means that the doctors are saying he's going to be okay. I just want him to get picked for that reason alone, but also because, yeah, I don't know. I love the guy. I just love the guy. I think he'd be friggin' awesome. I would have liked to see the. I'm still not happy with that Holloway pick. As we're picking picks here,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
going, we could have had a mirror. Yeah.
Blackhawks have one of the nicer draft headquarters.
Yeah, what I've noticed is what they're doing is
just like a table. Yeah.
yeah, what they're doing is that they got the locker rooms, and they've dressed up the locker like the Maple Leafs had the locker room, and they were all sitting inside the locker room there, and tables all social distance and everything. So
that looks cool though. Some teams just have it in one of their
Yeah.
offices, and it's just a bunch of people sitting around a table. Where the Blackhawks one is pretty cool with that big puck in the middle that says NHL Draft
that is
on it,
pretty
and then it
cool.
has the.
So we're just kind of waiting here, I guess, for the inevitable to see if Chicago
I
picks
think it's going to
Laperriere.
be. Yeah, I think it will be just because it looked like they were on the phone with each other. It looked like his sister was talking, or maybe that was his. It looked young to be his mother, but there was a couple girls in the shot with him, so one of them was talking on the phone.
No trades
That's
yet.
the other
eh?
thing too. I can't
I-
believe that no trades.
Yeah.
Trades are overrated.
Yeah, but a lot
Yeah.
you see, a lot of times though you see it happen in the draft.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
joking. That was a joke.
And
But
come on now.
Stan the man booming.
Miles Cannon. Miles is the founder and executive director of The Block, which is a non-profit boxing program that uses the love of boxing to provide mentorship and academic support to the youth of Chicago.
Gotta love boxing.
The 17th pick in the 2020 NHL Draft for Eisbär Berlin, the Chicago Blackhawks select Lucas Reichel.
Wow, they went right off.
Wow.
They took Reichel.
Right, cool. Okay.
Remember I said that when we were doing the thing that I said Lucas Reichel could go up in some area like that because
You
he's that
did.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You called that. Yeah, you did
Yeah.
call him going up in the teens potentially. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow, that's a good selection for
yeah.
them.
Because he's a safe pick.
You're right. He is a safe pick. You think he's going to make the NHL at the very least. And again, I think he got picked this high again because we're seeing Dre's paving a way for people not being cold feet to pick Germans so high in the draft, where before you never saw him getting picked, 2 guys getting picked in the top 20 really out of Germany.
Yeah, really.
That wasn't much of a thing. So I wouldn't be shocked if this is actually the first time. So I think that's a good pick. We're watching highlights of him now. I mean, the kid is a heck of a playmaker, knows where to be, can play 200-foot game again. So he's a guy that's going to mix in on defense and offense with them. So getting him mixing in with Kirby, Doc, Taze, if you keep Strome there, Kubalik, and etc., is going to make Chicago a pretty good team to match with, especially if the playoffs are expanded and by one team in
Yep.
each conference next year's capacity.
Because
Yeah.
they've definitely been hurting on that. I mean, and plus their guys are getting older, and it's getting about that time now to start moving on to some more of the younger guys. So this is I like this pick for Chicago. I have no problems with this at all either. I think
No, also lefty. Yeah. Thing we got to remember is the dude's lefty with playmaking ability that can score. You want to know who's going to be teaching him? That's also left-handed with playmaking ability that can score. Patrick Kane. So I think getting taught by Patrick Kane is not too bad of a
no, and
person
he's got.
to
And
be
he already
taught
kind of
about
has that
coming up in
NHL
the-
body already. You know what I mean? He's kind of already grown in there a little bit, and he's a little bit bigger and stuff like that. So he might be one of those guys. We'll see. We'll have to take a see what happens. I was kind of hoping.
Lucas Reichel, it's just whether his offense translates into the NHL. But the good thing about Lucas Reichel is, if that is not the case, you still got a guy that can play both ends of the ice. So
Exactly.
like he's for sure got you got that. He's probably one of the better two-way forwards in the draft all together for everybody. So good move. Good
So
pick.
now New Jersey
I like
on
that
the
pick.
clock again.
You would think it'd be Braden Schneider here.
On the clock, then off the clock, then
Yeah,
on the
right.
clock. Yeah.
You would think this has got to be Braden Schneider.
Like this is probably gonna be quick.
I would believe so. I mean, I would think it's got to be here, but who in the heck knows at this point? I mean, they were one of the teams predicted to get Goulet, so that's why I believe you're right. It's going to be Schneider because that's who you're going to go with now, unless if you go off the board and pick Wallander this high. If you're going to go defense,
maybe they take Wallander, take Schneider and then Wallander.
Well, because they did take Holtz
Could go
first.
too.
They did take Holtz first, so you know what I mean.
Or they could keep on grabbing shooters with Noel Gunler. Oh, please let Gunler keep on sliding because they're worried about his defense. Please, please, please. He's only got what? How many more to go here?
A few more to go to get to the
More to go. Okay. That would be beautiful.
tad bit, especially for the guy who was projected to go anywhere from the teens to 18.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has one of the better shots that can just shoot it as soon as he gets over the blue line as well. He's a guy that has the skill but growing size as well. That has a chance to be a steal in the later rounds with his intimidating size as he grows into his body, and is a killer offensive player. But again, if you can just make somebody good defensively, you have the coaching staff to do that here. I think it would definitely, if he can fall to us, which I think is still a little bit of a prayer.
Who, for Mercer to fall
would
to
be
us?
No, not Dawson. For Noah Gunler.
Okay.
He's the guy I wanted the Oilers to take, actually. But they will seldom take that high-risk player. High risk, high reward.
I wonder if LePerrier was on the phone with someone, maybe a couple picks
It was.
down the pipe.
Because they showed that on the delay, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. So that means he's probably getting picked in one of these couple of picks, I would think, because he was on the phone, like looking like his family was looking all happy and all that good stuff. So I wonder if maybe he's projected. The Devils told him they're going to get him with one of these two picks. I just wonder if it would be
Or
this
the next
one or
one, yeah.
20th. Yeah. And it also depends if they believe if they believe who's in between them again. I'm trying to remember.
Calgary.
Calgary, that's right. If Calgary's going to pick him.
I'm almost positive Calgary's going to take Connor Zary.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that's why I think they could let him go and then pick it up. But we'll see what happens.
Here we are.
Jersey Devils are proud to select from Chicoutimi center Dawson Mercer.
There you go. You got him, Mercer.
They took a center. Wow. So yeah, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
Dawson Mercer, who again center for now, will he stay there? Let's see.
He can play wing too, so that's probably why.
Yeah,
All right. That's a good. See, yeah, they were showing him the whole time.
Oh, he scored. Yeah, he scored 24 goals in 42 games.
It looks like his brother's bigger than he is. Excuse me, can we have your brother? Is that your brother standing there next to you? Can we have that? He's taller. Can we have him? 6 foot, 180 pounds, Dawson Mercer from Canada. So there you go now. So
Should
that's
fill out
two
to-
forwards now that New Jersey has selected.
home center
Yep.
Mercer. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
I would
still
have to
haven't picked a
imagine
defenseman.
they're getting Schneider if Calgary does not, because they could also use some additions to defense since they're losing people off of their defense. But if I would agree with you, I think they're going to lean Zare. But if they don't, it would probably by default just be Schneider here. I would think. So
You think so?
yeah, I would think by
Yeah,
default,
Dawson
it would
Mercer
probably
though
just-
got a nice. They're listing him as a right wing too, so looks like he's got a little bit of a nose for the net
Yeah.
there, and he was part of the gold medal team there, wasn't he, for Canada in juniors, right? So
I
yes,
believe
sir.
so.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a good pick. I was kind of hoping we could get him, but hey,
Well, the thing about Mercer, the good thing about him is he's really got strong leadership
Yeah.
skills. He was when the season started, nobody had Mercer in the possibility of making the junior team, and he ended up forcing his way on because of his character and stuff like that. So you got a high character player there, and so that's always good to have. And I don't know where his offense is going to be, but he's definitely going to play in the league. It's a pretty safe pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another dude that can play all over, wherever you want to put him in your lines, wherever you want to tell him to play wing, center potential. So another flexible guy that, again, is a good 200-foot player that can play all over the ice.
Man, I'll tell you what.
Excuse
That's in the last couple years now. That's a lot of young guys going to New Jersey.
Oh yeah, they're stacking up there. They're trying to have a good problem.
They're trying to do what we're
Yeah.
doing.
But they're also trying to create a good problem they're going to have between Brad and others we mentioned now with adding in more forwards, guys that they're going to be able to move in 1 to 3 years from now, different guys each year, because they're going to go, oh, well, such and such took a next step. This guy took more of a step than we thought. So now we move such and such. Like they're just stacking up their core here to build it up a little bit. And then they're going to move people around to get more picks and such. Where I'm sure PK is probably someone that I wouldn't be shocked if he's shopped again because of his cap hit. I don't think he'll be moved because of his cap hit, but I think he'll be shopped again.
Oh, he's already being chopped.
Yeah.
But nobody's taking that contract.
Well,
they'll stick with them for a while. I don't think
overrated.
he can. I watched him. I don't think he played all that bad. He just didn't have many forwards to pass the puck to. PK needs to be on a skilled team. I don't think he played all that bad.
A very offensive defenseman, helpful system in New Jersey. They didn't play in the best system for him, where Lindy Ruff's system. That's why
I think he'll be better under Ruff. I agree.
He
I think a lot of people, Ruffy took a lot of crap when they took that pick, eh? I can't believe they took Ruff. Why are they taking some old guy like that? Ruff is a very progressive coach. I think it was a great pick, and I'm happy that he got another opportunity because I think he got a bad deal in Dallas, did the best he could, but I think he's going to do good there in New Jersey.
Yeah, boy, doesn't it look like Chicago just did a much better job on the draft room, war room than some of these other teams, man? Because they just showed the Calgary team, and it looks like they're in an office, and they just threw together a bunch of tables and you know what I mean? It's like.
Well, that sounds like Calgary. That sounds like Alberta.
Okay.
That sounds like Alberta in general, actually. Alberta in general, you guys think you have people, conservatives there, you got nothing
Right. So
on
you
that.
guys,
Alberta is about as conservative as you possibly can. You build a museum in Alberta in Alberta, and they're losing their minds. Like, why would you spend money on that crap? Blah 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 blah. They just want to live in box houses, and there's no aesthetics in this place at all. Like, it's really
So speaking of no
that way.
aesthetics, Calgary potentially could be losing Johnny Hockey here, so they might be looking to pick up a Connor Zary or maybe you know what I mean, or maybe well, they might give the Perrier a shot. Or,
They want it. Oh, trade.
Is there a trade? We have a trade.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a trade. I bet you it's New Jersey. I bet you they moved ahead so they could get their other guy.
So they took the New York Rangers they gave it to the Rangers for a first and a third.
Flames trade pick to the Rangers.
Yep. And the Rangers are going to pick Schneider.
Yeah, I think that's why.
For sure.
I agree. I think that's why they moved up, because they knew the Devils were taking it.
Yep.
That's exactly why. So Rangers are going to select.
Steve Schneider would be the.
So Flames receive.
Likelihood.
So
first and the third. Which the first is the 22nd, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just been a draft of a few surprises where guys have got picked, but it's definitely been fun because, like I was telling, Pearlo and I have talked about this a million times, and so did we with you, Steel. There's just, you never know with this year with the stuff at the end, not having the camps and not having, like I told Pearlo from taking a lot of psych classes, the human brain works as you go, I'm right, we need to pick this person. And then you want a final staple on why you're right.
Yeah.
Which this year you never got that final staple to say, holy crap, I am right. Yes. Where you just had the first two periods of, I think I'm right, this is the guy I'm leaning towards at the start of the season, then it changes to such and such maybe, or it stays with the guy, and then it's like, okay, cool, perfect. And then we're cruising into the playoffs, it's like, wait, the season's stopping? Crap. And then they never started back up, so don't have the combine, don't have more good stuff. Yeah, you gotta have to switch gears of how you do it, and how you approach things.
Man, I'll tell you what.
This is the first time I just so happened today I was looking at the Rangers lineup, looking at some trades they can make and stuff, and I didn't realize how thin they were in defensive prospects. I was just noticing that today.
Mm-hmm.
They actually are fairly thin. As it stands, even they're going to have to. They could use a veteran or two even. So that's. I'm pretty sure they're going for Schneider here. They're just making sure they get Schneider.
So you think?
I bet you they
think
didn't.
That's why they moved up. You think that's why they're trying to get him?
Yeah. They want to make sure that New Jersey doesn't take it or Columbus ahead of them.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me, man.
But now, what does New Jersey do? Take Vollander? Maybe they liked Vollander the whole time. But now, when it gets down to this part of the draft, it's
That's a good point. Yeah, Wallander's another guy that they could be having their sights set on, because Helge Grans I don't think is going to be picked yet, but I mean, could surprise you. Who knows with this draft?
Helge Grans is a prospect that could turn out to be absolutely insanely good.
Now that's
his tools are fantastic.
It's a risk, though. Yeah, his tools are fantastic, but he's a little bit ways out from some of these other guys we mentioned. So, do you want to take a risk after trading up? Because that makes it even higher of a risk.
But now,
because you traded up,
his tools are awesome.
Good old Mitchell Trubisky.
Right, but now we got
his tools are awesome, but they're nowhere near the toolbox right now.
Yeah,
like they're scattered all over the yard.
But now New York has two selections now in the first round, and they did get the number one pick. and Lafreniere.
Yeah.
So man, that's not good. Getting the Rangers to get another pick in the first round.
Well, they would have had
Braden
two anyway.
Schneider.
Okay.
They took Braden
Yeah.
Schneider. That was a no-brainer there.
That's one that actually kind of fell in and actually stayed that place. 42 points in 60 games. Wheat Kings, one of the better named teams in all of hockey. Good old Wheat Kings. And yeah,
We
he's
know
going to be
that
very
name.
good. He's from Princeton. So yeah, I think he was a great pickup for them, and our division's getting stronger and stronger, and hopefully someone we want falls to us a couple picks from now as we have our division right back on the clock with the New
Gunler's
Jersey Devils.
still on the board.
Yeah, which is probably going to be the New Jersey Devils pick since he's been rumored a lot there. But we'll see. Him or Zare will probably be. Again, LePerriere, though, I mean, where's he eventually going to slot in? Because, again, it looked like he was on the phone. He must have not been talking to a team. But from that impression, it definitely looked like he was. But
could have been, but then it fell through, and they said, "No, we're going to keep our pick."
He's got puck skills to back it up. I like a big hitter. He's a big hitter. You see some Jacob Truba there in Snyder's like.
So yeah, that's a good pick for them.
It could be huge. You know who he reminds me of if he can reach that level, and maybe even have a little more offense is Corvo from Boston. Carlo. Brandon.
Right, yeah, there you go.
He's so underrated.
Well, there you go, man. That's looks like so far that's pretty good, man. I wouldn't mind having Lafreniere and Schneider on my team.
yeah, this is a Metropolitan division in a row here. You got the Devils picked, then the Rangers traded for a pick, then you got the Devils picking, then you got Columbus picking, then you just got Calgary separating the Metro. Then you got the Flyers, and then you go right back to the Metro.
Or with the Caps.
At 24 with the Capitals. Yeah.
I'm really interested in Columbus's pick because, like I said, we were talking about this in the one that we did this afternoon.
Well, they
what's his name?
Lappy? Do you think they'll take a risk on Lappy if he falls to them?
I'm thinking if Lavi went down, if he went down this far, that his concussion issues are not resolved. You're talking about who?
Hendricks.
I thought you were talking about. Yeah, LePerriere. Yeah, I don't know. I think if he's fallen this far, they're really concerned about his concussions. So it's hard to say, but. Yeah.
Because if you can put him with Pierre-Luc Dubois, that would be a very nice combination.
If he's okay, yeah, buddy. That would be one killer 1-2 combination. My gosh. That would be crazy. That'd be like having Couturier as your second line center and Bergeron as your first line center. Imagine 2 Selke Trophy candidates on.
Well,
this is the pick that Jersey got for Blake Coleman right here.
Is it? I thought, okay, so the 18th was what they got from Arizona.
Yeah.
I believe, yeah. So, yeah, that's the Arizona trade. The other's the Coleman trade to Tampa Bay.
So, yeah, okay, so we're talking Calgary took down. They took that. So,
they moved to 20.
This could be. I could see another trade down here by New Jersey, possibly.
Really, because they're on the clock and they're showing LePerriere right now.
A minute.
They've been showing him a lot though recently. I think it's just because he's the top ranked prospect left. Compared to where they're ranked separation wise, he's 15. The second closest guy is 21 on Bob's board. That's the big thing. Why? Yeah.
Because that might not be. Because I would actually be thinking that Zari might be the one that they take unless they go D.
If they go D, it's probably
You
Wallander.
think so?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, and I don't know, Gozari, I guess. But how many centers do you need?
Barron's also been rumored anywhere from 20s to the second round, but the problem with
Yeah,
Barron is you have to be content with just taking a defensive anchor because
with
he's not going to
no
be much
offensive potential.
offensively at all. Yeah, he's really just going to be a defensive anchor. But the Devils had 2 picks already, so if they think these 2 guys are going to be very good offensively, which obviously they do, and you're able to get a good defensive anchor, they already have some offensive defensemen in New Jersey. They don't necessarily need a guy that has
Right.
offense. Barron getting picked high probably has the best chance by a team like the Devils.
Barron reminds me of Braun a lot. Just that type of guy.
Yeah, but the Devils could use just a defensive, like what Braun was in his younger years, could move a bit more, just a great defensive anchor, because they already have guys like Severson and Subban, obviously, just guys that know how to move the puck already. You don't need more guys that can move the puck per se. You kind of need one guy that can just say, okay, I'm going to stand up and D up
There we
here
go.
and some good defense.
Brandon Brees and Bryson.
New Jersey, General Manager Tom Fitzgerald. Jersey Devils are proud to select from UFA defenseman Shakir Mukamadou.
Oh my gosh, they went way off the board. Mukamadula. Why didn't they trade down?
Then we have a wild card. Yep, we lost the board a little bit. Here's the guys we have in my first round, but starting to get a lot of late
All right.
Say 40, 45. Is there much separation?
Shakir Mukamadula.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Mukamadula.
Again, another Russian. Definitely was not expecting him to go that high, but they took a risk. They definitely were a team that had the chance to take a risk. When you have 3 picks in the first round, it gives you the leverage to be able to take that risk. And as we see his highlights, the dude does have skill and ability. I am surprised, like Pearlo was saying, that they didn't move down because they could have got Mukamadula a little bit lower. But he's going to be a good player. He's a guy that I don't know when he's going to immediately come over for you, but good pick for them. He was projected lower. I had him in the second round, but I think he has a chance to be a first-round level defenseman if all the cards kind of come together for him. The problem with him is he needs to settle down his play. All the skills there, his decision-making kind of just makes you go sometimes still at this point of his career. So once he can figure that out, he's pretty much set because he's a good physical guy, has
He'll get some
size,
good
has
coaching.
some skating ability. Yeah, he's good at. Yeah, he has. Hopefully, he'll get developed pretty good as a defenseman in Jersey there. Well, for them,
He's got a mean streak.
But
He's got a mean
he also.
streak. He's like Zadorov. If he makes it, he'd be like a Zadorov guy. If Zadorov could put up 20 to 25 points, something like that, that's as high. That's not bad.
Yeah. The thing is, though, if you look at the hockey writers, though, they have him as a good all-around game. He's not completely offensive minded, but he can do offensive things. His big issue again is he likes to use his one-timer too, which is nice. But his big issue again is he just needs to get better at making decisions. He can't turn over the puck as much. If that
that's what they said about Zadorov when he first came up.
But I think that's one of those things where you're going to get your vets to come in. You're going to get guys that are going to come in and show him and coach him and show him, hey, this is what you need to do instead of doing what you were doing.
Unfortunately, one of those guys is going to be telling him that is Subban, which isn't probably the guy you want to tell him.
I didn't say anything. I did not say anything.
But no, I'm sure they're going to go out and get some more defensemen anyways. I think New Jersey in this offseason is going to stack up on D.
And they have room too. They have cap room and stuff too, right?
Yeah.
So they could make
they probably
they
got
could
their eye
make
on
some
it.
plays in free agency as well too, because they're going to need to be able to pick up some people too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they got the cap room, and there's some pretty good free agents out there. Not bad free agents on D. I should probably look them up here while we're talking, since why not? Uh,
Yeah, Columbus Blue Jacket War Room looks pretty boring too.
Yeah, they're about to pick. Their pick's already in. They're one of the teams that got it in quicker, though. So boring war room,
That's
quicker
right.
drafting.
That's right. We're all good. But they also got Max Domi today. So
Correct.
that's gonna.
Yeah.
I think that, man, that's a good pickup for them. I think he's gonna flourish under Tortorella. I think he's gonna be more remnant of his dad. I think under Tortorella.
Got to get some tie domi in them. That'll be helpful
That's what
for
I
him.
mean.
Yeah.
I think Tortorella's gonna bring that
That'll
out in him.
definitely be helpful for him. Yeah. Also on the other end, Justin Anderson or Josh Anderson, not Justin. Wish him all the best because he's recovering from injury, but he's another scrappy Wilson-like guy. And then you got Simmons rumored to go to Montreal. They're trying to get that all tough team out there. So that's a guy that could be good too. But we got to remember too, with this deep of a draft, if Bergevin can pick them well, they got a third-round pick out of that deal as well.
So who do you think these guys are going to select?
Columbus, you know what? This guy is a genius. General manager, and I always forget his name for the love of God. I just said it today. Came right. Oh, Kekalainen.
No wonder you forget
basically,
that.
Yeah, Kekalainen. You got a little clutterbuck in your Kekalainen there, but
you got a little bit of Shattenkirk in your clutterbuck there.
Yeah, you got a little Shattenkirk. Yeah, right up.
Right up your old Kekalainen there. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go. Boy, they waited all the way to the end here.
Who? I didn't hear. Way off the board. Doesn't surprise me.
Columbus usually picks
way off the board. Doesn't surprise me, and the guy will probably be brilliant. Kekalainen is an absolute genius. So he's called the Wayne Gretzky of European scouting.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, hey.
So whoever he picked here, I don't know who that is. I don't care. He'll probably be better than just about everybody in the draft. He's that good.
Who the hell?
Yegar. Yegar Chinyanga.
So why did he?
I'm surprised again they didn't trade back though, because you could. Yeah, you could.
So why didn't they go down in the draft to get him?
That's again what I was wondering why teams haven't traded. Yeah, you could have traded back to get him. That's why I'm a little surprised. But hey,
they couldn't find anybody to trade down with, like.
There we go.
This guy has got to be like one of those guys that he plays somewhere in some far out Russian place where scouts don't even go. And he's got like super sick hands that nobody noticed, because it's like there has been players like that from Russia that like are from Serbia or something, where they didn't even know it was possible to go to the NHL, and they actually went that far out to get him. Like somebody called him up, got to check this kid out. And since he's a European legend, somebody probably did that. Said, come here and tell me what you think about this guy. And he sent somebody out there and went, oh my God.
We got to take this kid.
He was ranked. Yeah. He was the highest he was ranked was 30 by Central Scouting EU skaters. He was ranked 214 by Future Considerations, but 59 overall by Craig Budden. His offensive impact is impressive. He moves the puck quickly. This is according to Elite Prospects. He supports the play well and seems very aware of his options. His puck skills are high-end, and he makes body fakes and quick cuts to force defenders to move their feet in open space. So he sounds like a highly skilled guy, a shorter guy, again, at 5'11", 19 years old. Played in the Russian league. So they said he reads the game very well. This past season, he only played 12 games, but in the K, he did have 7 points in those 12 games, which is
Phew,
pretty solid for a
man.
youngster. And
He
last
plays in
year,
the
and
KHL.
yeah, yeah, he played for Vanguard, who is not a known team in the KHL, but that's probably why he got hidden, like you
Yeah.
just said.
I thought he played in the Russian 2 junior team.
Yeah,
Like,
when you think of the KHL, you don't think of a Vanguard, but he played for. He was the assistant captain for Omsky last year, and he had 69 points in 56 games,
yeah, that was in
including
the junior.
Man.
That's junior, not
Holy
KHL.
moly.
That's junior.
no. That's the MHL, yeah. But this year, he started playing in the KHL. In this season, he's playing for our Vanguard in 2020 and 2021, and in 12 games so far, he has 7 points. That's what I'm saying. This year, he has 7 points
Right,
in 12
okay.
games.
Yeah.
Because he
Okay,
already
anyways,
started.
by the way, we were talking about defensemen that Jersey might grab with all their cap space that they have. No, could have came to me right away. I don't know if he'd want to go there or not, but what about the guy that everybody wants, Alex Pietrangelo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be more if he wants to go there because of the still waiting a little bit to win. I don't think he's going to see, oh, I go here and I'm going to magically make this
Right.
team win. So that's going to be
That's
more.
true, but if he's not the only guy they're grabbing, they're set up for forwards. Probably going to be ready. They're forward ready probably in 2 years to make an impact. If they go out and get Pietrangelo and say, I don't know, bring Sammy Vatanen back, Brody or something like that. They pick up a couple defensemen there.
Oh, man. So, let's see here. Flames on the clock.
Yeah. I also, the Flames are on the
If
clock,
Alex
but I
wants
wonder.
to play on a contender, he's going to have to take his numbers down, except for
That-
Colorado. That's it.
That's a
So
good point.
if he just wants the
Have to
money,
play.
he's going to have to take
Yeah.
the best. If he's going to want $8 million, $9 million a year, he's going to be looking at teams like New Jersey, I would imagine. I wouldn't be surprised if they took him if Colorado doesn't want him.
There's going to be, you know. You never know. You never know.
I also.
So now the Flames pick,
this is,
right?
This is the result of the trade.
Flames. And
This is the result of the trade with the New York Rangers. They traded back to get this pick, and I believe they also got a third-round pick on this one, too.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, which is in this draft again, getting those thirds can be valued as seconds because guys might fall.
Maybe they traded down because they're the ones going to take a chance on LaPerriere.
That could be a reason too. I also think we have a high chance because we've been rumored to him a lot. So if he falls past,
and we still remember I was talking about Gunler.
Yeah,
he's still going to be there.
Perot. I'm going with
you
Jakob Perot for us.
No,
you got a lot to pick from that. We like Gunler, Perot. You got Bjork, who's been rumored to the Flyers because he's had some injury stuff. But other than that, people think he has a chance to be a potential stud. So it's going to be interesting. Either way, I'm pretty happy with a lot of those guys. If we go with one of those guys or Linder, like I said in the past, but we'll see. Knowing this draft, maybe we'll end up going off of the board and having to explain somebody we didn't think we would have to explain. But
or if Petreka could be there for us, would we take him?
He will be there. He's the safe pick because he's a guy that already plays in the MHL and is getting good play overseas. But I think it's going to be interesting if we go with a safe pick here or if we go with let's put a little bit more risk on the line for a guy we think is going to develop a little bit and take a little bit longer. But Petreka here as a dude that just keeps being like an Energizer bunny as a disrupt guy.
Oh, trade.
Again.
They're trading down.
Calgary's trading again. Okay.
as a disruptive guy. You consider him. The scouting report says he's a pain in the.
So they get
You know
another
what?
third rounder.
But who did they trade to?
They trade down to 28. If there's a team that could swing for the fences here to take Lapierre, this would be their
Yeah,
client.
but who they trade with to get this pick?
Calgary. Washington's traded.
With
Washington's
Capitals. They traded with the Capitals. And they had the, 20... They had the 24th pick. They had the 24th pick. Yeah, they had the 24th pick. No, they had 24th. They were picking right after us.
24th is
Yeah,
Colorado.
no, they were picking after us. Yeah.
Oh, were they?
They were picking
25th.
24th.
25th.
Flames trade.
No, 25th. Capitals were picking 25th.
No, they were 24th because it
Right.
just switched on NHL.com. They were
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
24th. It went 24 to 22, yeah. Yeah, they were 24th, the Capitals, because 25th was always Avalanche.
Well, why do they have the Avalanche at 24 on my
Capitals on the
NHL
clock with the
draft?
trade with the Flames. Oh no, Capitals moved up? Really?
I wonder if that'll be if they're gonna because they don't need them, but who wants to not pass up on a defenseman of that caliber? They don't need a defenseman, but they couldn't even go after Wallander here because Wallander can go anywhere just because of his skill to size. I mean, he has the potential to really go in a bunch of different
Washington
places.
could really use a guy like Wallander. Yep. That could be the guy they're going for here. Yep. Or they could be going for Gunler as well.
We'll see. And then, oh my gosh.
Or Connor.
Yeah, I was just gonna say maybe Zari. Do you think that they're taking Laperriere?
I don't know if they would trade up to do that. I mean,
Because maybe they
they're
thought
stacked.
that we would be taking him since we lost Niskanen and everything. You know what I mean?
Well, Niskanen's a defenseman though. Laperriere's a
I'm sorry,
center.
yeah.
So. Yeah. So I maybe they're just making sure they get Laperriere.
That's what I mean. I think they're trying to jump us to get somebody, obviously.
Because if he
Well, they're
pans
just
out
trying to
having
make sure they get their guy that they didn't expect to be there.
That's what I mean.
My guess would be Gunler.
that would be my guess, but if he pans out, Backstrom, Kuzi, and Laperriere, that's a deadly trio.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy.
But anyway, since I care a heck of a lot more about our pick than Washington's, I'm going to run to the bathroom one more time because forget them. Whoever they pick. I care more about our pick, but I'll talk about it if I get back in time.
Okay, very good.
I don't even know what's going on with the Padres and
Yeah, they
Dodgers.
had the 24th pick that they traded with Calgary. So now Calgary has a 24th pick, and then Capitals have a 22nd pick.
That's just starting.
So they have the pick is in for the Capitals, and they are selecting.
Yep, they
Did
took
they?
Lapierre.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow, good for them. Good for that kid. They must have. If his head's okay, man, Washington just got a great player there.
Yeah. I agree.
Wow, they got McMichael, who just ruined juniors last year. He's probably going to play for them this year. Then they get Lapierre, who, like I said, was compared before he got hurt. He was compared to Bergeron. So, yeah.
I mean, he's got all the tools, he's got all the skills. The only thing he's worrying about is
Well,
the fact that his injuries. You know what I mean?
if his head's okay, this could be the pick of the
Yeah.
draft that
Yeah.
just blows it away.
Like,
Like,
too bad.
they took Lapierre.
So Hendrik Lapierre goes to the Washington Capitals.
Oh, they did
Yep.
trade up for him. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So he was diagnosed third concussion November 21st, 2019, and then diagnosed with CCTI in February of 2020, and then in April was medically cleared to play, and then returned to play. 2 goals, 2 assists in his first game back, October 2nd.
Yeah, not too bad.
If he's okay, this could be the steal of the draft. Washington Capitals could have, because I mean, he's a guy that could play this season.
That's
seriously.
why I was because he looks like he could be. I mean, seriously, he looks like he could be playing right now.
He's a big, strong,
he's over 6
strapping
foot.
boy.
Yeah, man, and he looks like he could be. He
yeah.
looks like
this,
a man.
This could be an
You know, he looks like a man.
Yeah. If he wouldn't have got his concussion, he would have been a top 5
Probably,
pick for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, at least in the top 10. Look, that's nice to see, too. Unfortunately, he went to Washington, who's in our division, but you saw the sigh of relief on his face. He battled through a lot. You like to see those guys be able to get picked. It looks like he might be in one of the studios.
You know what? It could end up being the best thing that ever happened, because if he can play for Washington right away and play as good as I think he can be, they're cup contenders for the next 3-4 years, probably. Still, even though they got.
I was just gonna say they're still. I think their coaching hindered them, and I think they're still relatively considered to be contenders. I just think now with Laviolette in there now, and with his system in there now, I think it's going to be a much different Washington team this coming year, and I think they're going to be in much more contention than they were the last year.
I completely agree. I think they'd be better off with Lavi than they were with Reardon.
All day long. Even if they don't even change any of the players.
I feel sorry for Reardon, actually. It was a terrible spot to put him in. I don't think, and he's going to Pittsburgh too, from what I understand.
As an
Reardon.
assistant, yeah.
Yeah, and he'll be fantastic there, and he'll be a head coach again. He's got a good mind. It just was a bad spot for him to be put in for his first NHL coaching.
Well, boys,
sometimes you just make.
We got Gunler, Wallander, Bork, Petreka, Zari, Perot, Forster. Who do we pick?
Gunler. All day. Gunler or Wallander. Gunler or Wallander.
Who do you like, Joe?
My third guy would be if I'm going with anyone. First of all, Brendan Brinson, as a fun fact for people, was a top agent in the league. So not that that's important, but just in case anyone wanted to know. Jakob Perot.
I think he'd be a good pick.
He would be a decent pick too. Jakob Perot is another guy. I do think Brinson's a guy that's dropping a lot more, where I feel like he's going to be better. Kind of like a Robbins, how I feel about Tristan Robbins, too, who's going to get picked in the second. I feel like both of those guys, one will probably get picked latter first, and Brinson, Robbins beginning the second, are going to pan out more than people think. So I would fine with either of those two as well. But I don't think I'm going to be...
To the Philadelphia pick, I want to tell you this. The Calgary Flames have done this so many times. They've traded down in the draft, and the guy they didn't pick was always a stud. Every single time, and they're going to do it again.
And they traded down twice now.
Twice. They could have got it twice. This could go down as like the
what
even more horrible than
the Calgary what?
Decent draft headquarters.
He's okay.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay, that's okay. You got
It looks like it's at the Wachovia Center there.
Somewhere
There,
there, yeah.
yeah. So, all right, here we go, man. I'll tell you what, I'm excited to see who we pick. There's a lot of guys that we never thought were going to be on the board or on the board, and then there's guys that we thought that weren't going to be on the board, aren't on the board. Obviously, Jarvis and some other guys. But I don't know, man. I would like to see us pick a center or
Zari might be.
yeah, Zari might not be bad. I wouldn't have a problem with him either. But here comes the pick. Mikolargi?
Mikolargi.
Mikolargi, yeah.
In the draft, you have several players currently within our organization. Last draft,
Oh, okay.
They took Forster. It's not a bad pick. Safer pick, but it's a good pick.
Next in Force is very cool. It's supposed to put up Flyers. But if you want to talk about it for a second, but I know you want to say it's Steelers. I'm last season,
He profiles more 6'2", almost 200 as a guy the Flyers would like a lot of fans will probably fall in love with as he keeps growing into his body here with size and shootability. We wanted a scorer, and he has a rocket of a cannon of a shot. So he's a guy that you definitely Corey Perry, who they just put him next to, is that's a comp guy that you can go for there, a scrappy guy with some physicality, ability. So yeah, he's a player that's going to be good for us. I think it'll take a couple years maybe, but he's a guy with size and scoring ability, a rocket of a shot. I do like that pick. He also is a driver to the net, and the Flyers, as we know, need more guys with that net driving ability. So I think that he also is similar to a guy that also played on Barry back in the day, which is Mark Scheifele, having a nose for the net similar to him.
He's Scheifele way light, though. He's not going to be.
And hey, guess what? He's over 6 foot.
Yeah. I still would have liked Gunler there, honestly.
Well, tell you what, I do not have a problem with this at all. I think Tyson Forster is a great pick for us. Yeah.
I think it's a good pick. I wouldn't say it's I think it's a good pick, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how the kid turns out.
You know,
he looks like a third liner to me with a good shot.
Right. So let's
third liner. Third line winger with a.
That's man. I'll tell you what. That's a pretty nice looking first round set of picks there. Farabee in 18, O'Brien in 18, and then York in 19, and then Forster. Man, I can't wait to see O'Brien come and play. Holy moly, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, he also has the scoring and playmaking ability himself.
That's what I mean.
But yeah, Tyson definitely a good pickup. I think you can see he's a guy that also isn't afraid to shoot it from odd angles. So I think that's a pretty good pickup there as well. I agree. There's a lot of guys. I think Gunler would have been top of my draft board if I was picking. I'm probably with Steve there, but I'm not mad with it at all. Like I said going in, I thought Fletcher would pick somebody that I would be happy with and have pictured in my mind we'd have a chance to get. And we did exactly just that. So I'm happy with the pick. We picked somebody I thought we had a chance to get.
I agree.
So that's why now it's going to be interesting to me. One of the more interesting things to follow is, does Peterka even go in the first round? And does Justin Barron, the defensive anchor, go in the first or fall to the second? And again, a guy that I don't think many expected him to fall to the second, has a chance if no one picks him in these last few here. Will Verlinder somehow fall into the beginning of the second round?
Oh, that would be something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you what, we started off watching this draft and we were all like, wow, this is like, it's been everybody. I've seen a lot of things, people saying that it's boring this and boring that, and because there hasn't been any trades. I think we had a couple trades, but I'll tell you what,
I can really appreciate what the NHL and how what these guys are doing here, because they're picking players that they need, and I'm really impressed with how this is going off. This whole thing has just gone off really well. I think they've moved things along really well. I think they've been able to.
See, I told you it wasn't going to take till all hours of the night. It's not that
Okay,
long.
but it is 10 o'clock, and we still have how many more picks?
Only a few.
Right. So we're gonna be
I
here
think,
till 11, I think, at least.
Eight
Maybe.
numero.
Nothing.
Ocho.
Yeah. We'll see, but like I said, I was
Uh,
impressed by how things went. This was the first time that I was able to actually be this engaged into the draft than I've ever been in my life, and I was very impressed with how the NHL has done things.
Yeah. First.
Plus, I'm very impressed with how we have finally been able to get a live show during an event. I mean, it took a little clubbing over the head, but
Well, 2 live shows today because we got mine working. Now we just need to get Steve's
oh
working.
yeah, that's right. Because you guys did your PayPal picks today on the live, right?
We didn't even do the picks. We just called it BPAL because it's us together as an overall draft show, and then we gave a couple MLB update on the earlier game. Which, anywho, if anybody wants an update on that right now, it's 5-4 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Tampa
There you
Bay.
go. So we think that actually the Flames are gonna pick a player here now. Maybe. Do you think?
Yeah, whoever they like, they figured for sure was going to be in the lower. So they could be going off the board here.
Yeah, but you know what though too? They've also just managed
And
to
I think
pick
I know
up,
what it is. I think it's a rush.
they just managed to pick
think
up
they're gonna
2 or
take a
3 more
rush in here.
picks too. They just
I think it's a
they
rush.
gained a 3rd round pick, and
It's that. I think it's that Russian I was talking about.
Introduced to make our
Whoopsie.
2020 selection. Flames captain. Flames.
Oh, they're going to. McDonald's introducing the guy with the money-making stash.
Yeah. Kuznetsov. Nudinov.
They did pick him?
No, I bet you they will.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you're a lot ahead of me if they picked him up.
I like his mustache. That's a
I was just
Everybody
about to
does.
say money. Yeah, money
He's
winning
always had it
stash.
his whole
really
career.
that's a sick mustache, man.
But it was red before. He was ginger. Now
What,
he's
you got
white.
something against ginger? What? You're
Oh,
sitting
but
there
it
with 2
looked
of
cooler.
them.
It looked cooler even.
Right,
back
'cause it was
then,
red.
when McDonald check. Look up
will.
McDonald.
Because you
Friggin'
remember
awesome.
McLeish, right?
Yeah.
Please.
Hey, just wait.
Come on now, give us the pick. Jeez, come on. It's
No, Connor Zari. They took
Did they?
Zari.
All right. They just kept trading down, I guess, because they knew they could get him. They
Well, I
wanted
think
more
they
assets.
just
Know
kept
what
on
they
traded
could
down
get.
because they had a bunch of guys that they could take. So they were like, whatever
yeah.
was good.
But they were rumored for Zari a lot, another great two-way
Yeah.
player on both ends of the ice.
He's a Western
really-
Canadian boy, so
Exactly, yeah. I really like Zare if he didn't go because he was rumored going potentially as high as your guys' picks or you guys trading down for him for that reason
Right.
and getting more assets. So
this is
I
a very
think,
normal pick for Calgary. He's a guy that may not have the offense, plays two-way. They got so many players like this guy. But hopefully for them, he's got the offense that he may have, and then it would be. But it's a very Calgary pick. Very
well,
Calgary
I mean,
pick,
look,
for sure.
they gained a 3rd round pick and they gained
2/3.
right.
2/3.
So and they were able to get the player that they wanted. Okay, so Calgary might not come off as being all that head scratching
We'll see.
as we think, because they were able to get the guy they wanted and they were able to also pick up some.
There's some organizations
Sorry.
that need to be able to change their philosophy, and Calgary is one of them.
Yeah,
You
Zari's
can't pick
probably
the
at
same
least.
player every single draft and get nowhere and think, oh, well, what's the problem? Well, the problem is you got to change your philosophy.
Yeah,
And
but
that's,
Zari has been putting up more offense, 67 than 86 points. So if he can keep doing that, I think he's at least a Denal. His highest is probably honestly, his ceiling is probably who he compares himself to, which is Horvat.
Yeah.
yeah,
Horvat
well, that would be
value.
wonderful. But I don't see Horvat in him at all. I don't, but we'll see. Horvat, I mean, that's rare air type center right there. I don't see him.
Well, yeah,
So,
but Zari, if you look at him, a guy that keeps going up, being able to play the defense he plays as well as the offense in the WHL, that's not common to see that
I
in
think he's a
general.
40-point center that'll play third line center and he'll be good. And he'll move around the league and he'll have a good career. That's who I think he is. And that's what Calgary does. They pick players like that all the time.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with you.
I think his ceiling would be second line. I think his floor would be, like you said, probably third line. So I think he's a guy that's going to get in the NHL most likely. But
Yeah, he'll play like
some of the other
tweener,
guys
third
are
line type player, somewhere around there. Yeah, not bad. He could, like any of these guys, could all of a sudden wake up. Like, we've seen it over and over and over again, where they wake up and then they all of a sudden get it and everything comes together and they're like, where did that come from? So any one of these guys can do something like that. And the guy that you brought up a lot that could and ended up getting picked higher was Lucas Reichel. I
Yeah,
think he's one of those guys that could
yeah,
do that.
for sure. So it looks like it's quite the interesting draft we've got going here. A lot of expected players that have been expected to go kind of in the places where they were expected to go kind of did go where they were expected to go. You know what I mean?
It's weird. The later rounds are usually where you see the like really weird picks, but it wasn't. It was the first 8 or 9 that was like
Bing,
Sanderson
bing, bing,
5.
bing. Yeah, they just cranked him right off. You know what I mean? So,
But
for sure. like I,
Colorado's going to be an interesting pick because Sakic and his staff are damn good at drafting.
exactly, exactly. I can't
a
wait to see
good
what they
point.
pick. And with them,
I think they'd be a kind of team that the guy that would go for the Helgi Grands or that Russian kid I was telling you
oh
about.
yeah,
Something like
that might not be a bad idea for them. That would be good for them. You know what I mean? So.
Ridley Gregg, Jan Misha. Maybe they'll put. I don't know. It's gonna be this one here is some of the guys in the second round can start getting
Right.
picked here
So it looks
now.
like our buddy, part of the squad, liked that pick. Lance Green liked that pick.
Yeah.
He did,
Well, he was
yeah,
talking about
Force is
the
a good.
first thing.
He was talking about him. Yeah,
The thing
I think he's a good.
I'm a little concerned about with Forster is uh, his explosiveness. That's what leads me to believe he's a third line guy. But if he can improve that immensely, which is not impossible, but usually doesn't happen,
The Flyers
then
have been a good team to improve kid skating, though.
you
We
know what
have
he
had a
reminds me
couple.
of, honestly? It reminds me of Maroon.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'll
It
get
reminds me of
Patrick
Maroon.
Maroon, even more of a reason to get your Stanley Cup guaranteed.
Yeah.
Even more of a reason to get your Stanley Cup guaranteed appearance in free agency.
If the Flyers need,
I thought we would trade, but there mustn't have been much value in the trade. Obviously, there wasn't as much value in these first round picks as I thought.
yeah, Jamie agreed with you, thinking that LaPerriere would be the steal of the draft, and Jim Jackson tweeted out saying that if the Flyers need me to practice Petrangelo, I'll be more than willing. I don't think that's going to happen though. I don't think Petrangelo's coming here. So.
Oh yeah. Well, how you get Peter Angelo? Like,
You're gonna have to open up.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
just a cool little thing that Jim Jackson put it out there. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So,
Worcester is a guy that was ranked all over the place, so he has a chance to be a steal if he can put it together and like Pearlo said, get his skating to
I didn't
become
hear
a
who they
little bit.
picked. Oh, they took Barron.
They
They
did
took-
take Barron. Barron did
Yeah.
get picked in the first round. That makes sense though, because they got offensively touted defensemen. He still had 19 points in 34 games, but in the NHL, he's projected to be more of a defender. Imagine having a defensive anchor mixed in with how good their team can already move the puck with Gerard, with Brandstrom crumbing up, and with McCarr. I mean, you don't need more offensive guys. You now have a guy that can just piss everybody off by locking them down.
I don't know what his upside is. I have him thinking as a 5'6", but now that Sakic has took him, I think he could be a 3-4 because, I mean, the guy though that organization doesn't miss on draft picks too much. So
I like this pick.
It could be
this is a good pick for the Avalanche. He's got good upside for sure. Like his skating.
I can't believe Gumner's fallen as far as he has.
I mean, I like his skating. He's got a good shot. He's got good hockey IQ. You know what I mean? He always seems like he's in the right place at the right time. Good pick for the Avalanche. Good pick for them guys.
Yeah, it makes sense.
For sure, man. So your buddy Kevin Searling says hello to Pearlo.
Oh, he's there. Oh, right on.
Yeah, man.
Okay, let me talk to him. I don't see it on here, right? Sweet.
You gotta go to YouTube to check out the live chat, but I
got him on my phone.
Or your phone. That also works.
Well, you guys talk to him too.
Well, I am. I'm chatting with him right now.
Okay, how come I don't see this? How come I don't see this chat that everybody's doing? I only see
there you go.
Doesn't
now you're typing, "Hey buddy, how's it going?" Yeah, man.
Tell me what he says, because I can't see what you guys are saying, man. It doesn't say it. Let me go to my YouTube, I guess.
It says on mine. Kevin Sterling. Yeah, it says on mine.
Kevin's awesome, man. He follows me everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, Blues are on the clock.
They got a chance at getting over. They have a chance of going a bit off of the board here because they've been rumored for defense since they're going to lose some defense in the next couple of years because of money, of maybe doing an overwork here to go off the board, just to stick with guys that go off the board a little bit. So it's going to be interesting. Also, they've been looking at Wallinder as well, so that could. I never expected Justin Barron.
Now I see it.
Go ahead. Yeah, I saw the chat. Yeah.
Oh, who did they take? Hold on.
St. Louis is on the clock. They haven't selected yet.
No, he wants to know who we think the Isles get in the second round, a defenseman or a scorer.
Man.
If you're leaning gut for me, I would say defenseman because you need to solidify your defense before you solidify your scoring to be able to get over the top hump. And also you got Trotz, who loves having good defense as well. But I think you could go either or with this draft. It's so hard to pick because anybody could really fall for you there, where that's what it really comes down to, right? Who's going to fall for you at that point? So
how many picks?
That's going to be what it comes down to.
How many picks do they have? How many picks if they have 2 second-round picks?
Where the Islanders in the second are at I don't even know, to be entirely honest, where the Islanders are at. I didn't really thoroughly look at.
Well, ask Kevin. Kevin, when do you pick?
Because looking in the second, I'm scrolling down the second. I don't even see a second for them, unless if I didn't, because that's voided. Yeah, because looking at this, I haven't even seen a second come up for them, but
Kevin, when do you pick?
Yeah, it might not be in the second round.
No, they don't have a first or a second. They have
Third
a third.
Yeah,
round.
they don't have a first
Okay,
or
so
second.
third round.
I think so.
Man, I'd have to go with D on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I would go with defense since you're waiting that long. But to pick somebody, you're probably going to
Remember, they gave up their first second for.
Yeah. You're probably going to take care of what you want your first necessity to be. So I would probably go with defense at that point. But who the heck knows? We'll see.
So who do you think? St. Louis is going to go after here, man? Do you think they're going to go?
I don't know. Somebody going to take Gunler eventually. Is he going to drop to the second round?
Maybe they'll go after Wallender.
Did anybody take Brisson yet?
Nope.
I could see them taking Brisson, or I could see them taking Bollander too, because I mean, losing Peter Angelo. So
St. Louis is also a team I could see going off the board because they got a little wiggle room to play with too, to take a risk or to go with someone more sure shot. So the third round 90th trade because of the Pajot trade.
They took Jake Neighbors.
I would say they took Neighbors. They picked up for that's a little bit off the. It's not.
It's not too bad. There's a lot of people that like Jake Neighbors in the first round. So.
Well, he was a youngster debuter. He debuted at 15. He's become a pretty good prospect, moving himself up each year. So I agree with you. Yeah, I think that was a pretty nice snag.
He's already 195 pounds. That's 6 feet. So he's got beef on him already.
Yeah, man.
He's a pretty solid kid already.
Yeah, man. That's definitely an NHL body already, even though he's only 5'11".
He's a prototypical third. He's a prototypical third liner.
5'11", 195 pounds. Looks like I mean, you know, I agree. He's got that kind of thicker body, you know, for even being a little bit smaller. But he's gonna grow a little bit. He might get to 6. You know what I mean? He might get to 6, and be at 6
6
foot.
what?
Yeah.
6 foot. He is 6 foot
it says
according
5'11"
to.
here.
5'11", 6 foot.
It says on the program I'm watching right now, they say 6 feet.
Oh, okay.
So I could be wrong.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this dude, how they described him, though, on the Elite Prospect is pretty good, though. He's a dude that's a brick wall that'll run through you and can set up teammates. I mean, that's a perfect guy to have in St. Louis to mix with the playmaking skill they have, to have somebody
Well,
that
they draft those guys all the time.
Passes. Yeah.
Here's the difference, okay? St. Louis draft guys that play with a complete intensity. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's where is he from again? Is he from Western Canada too?
Who, Neighbors?
Jake is from Canada, Airdrie, Alberta, Canada. I don't know where that is.
Western boy. They like their Western.
See, leave it up to Pearlo to have our Canadian connection right there, man, you know?
I'll be passing Airdrie on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Because
just stop in and say hi and congratulations to good old Jakey here.
Yeah. But they got a lot of Western boys, especially Saskatchewanites on their team. In fact, they got a couple guys that are like, what's the kid from that played for you guys? Center. St. Louis.
Oh, Shen.
Shen's from Saskatchewan. Bozak from Saskatchewan. And they're all from, like, they all played together when they were kids. So they had that unit, you know what I mean? Like that unity. And so they like to stick to their Western Canadian guys for that reason, because there's kind of an energy in that, I guess, right?
Well, you know, it's always fun when you get a bunch of guys that have played together, you know what I mean? And then you see them coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good, because it helps with the team chemistry off of the get-go when you have guys that have already been with each other in juniors, or if you pick somebody, 2 guys from the same college team, one a first rounder, one.
Well, you're going to play for each other more, right? Because you have that emotional attachment from their past, and you just build like a family already. So it's a great move by them. I didn't understand when they gave Bozak $5 million a year. Honestly, it was an overpay until I found out that he played with all those guys, right? So it made sense. It was pretty cool.
So do you think
That's
Cole
true.
Perfetti dropped to 10? We thought he was going to go a little sooner, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I
seeing you.
responded
Okay, I
to him.
got
I
you. I'm
thought
seeing
of
you now.
top
All right.
7. Yeah, I think he went a little bit lower than I expected, but either way, this draft has so much talent in it that we didn't get to see the final stepping stones
Yeah.
that made people make their decisions. So we knew there was going to be some guys going
Yeah.
in different slots and different spots here.
Okay, what do we got?
Look at the Ducks War Room.
The Anaheim.
The Ducks War Room looks like an office. Like everybody's like in a cubicle. Like really? Okay. That might be the scouting room.
I don't even notice that. If you wouldn't have brought it up, I wouldn't even have noticed.
Really, it looks like a scouting room.
That's how bad I am.
It looks like a back office. And they said, "Hey, we could set up some tables in this room."
No, actually, it looks like if you had a wedding in a community hall. That's what it
No, it looks like typical cubicles. Yeah,
yeah. They went with the scorer.
Who'd they pick? Oh, they took Pearlo. Yeah, that makes sense.
Pearlo. That makes perfect sense. They need more scoring out there. They have enough guys that can play make-win face-offs and move the puck. They need someone that just knows how to shoot that thing.
Yeah, I don't know why he dropped as much. Is his skating a problem? Or what?
I don't know why he dropped. That makes two of us, but it happened. So he went to the Ducks. I'm sure Delhi's very happy with the Ducks results tonight. Nice 2 picks for the Ducks in tonight's draft. So I have to imagine he's pretty happy right now with what happened with the Ducks in tonight's draft.
We got
Drysdale and Perot is a very good combination to put together, a scorer and a guy that can be a combination of a great overall defenseman and a scorer on defense. So you can't do a lot better than that. And now we get to see the new logo Senators come back up for this pick. But I don't understand why he dropped that low either. That's something I can't really put. He's maybe consistency. People still wanted to see him be more consistent, but other than that, I can't imagine why he would drop that low. But because he's improved each of the last couple of years, I'm right with you on that, Pearlo. I don't know why. He's more of, I remember Sam Constantino said he's more of a deceptive skater than he is a great fluent skater, but he has the smarts. So, yeah, I don't know why he drops so low. I think he's a guy, if you look at someone that could really improve their skating, he's probably someone you peg because he's already uses his skating abilities to the best of their abilities. He just can still improve those abilities. So.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree, for sure. We'll see. I mean, once again, some of these guys are, more than 2 years away, and some of these guys are less than 2 years away. So, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
One thing that happens, like guys like Gungler, that fall like this, it's possible he didn't do good in the when talking in the interviews and stuff like that. Maybe he's an arrogant kid or something like that.
Oh, you mean like in the combine stuff, or when the Oh, what do they call that in football? The Wonderlic test.
Yeah, well, they do a lot of interviews and stuff like that.
It's supposed to measure your ability to work well or something with others, or I don't know. It's all that psychological stuff.
It's not really more about that. It's just having a conversation with the general managers and they ask you questions and stuff like that. And it's difficult to screw it up, but there have been guys to do it. A lot of guys do it, especially if they just have an attitude. If they go in there with an attitude and they sound really immature. Brian Burke said that Yakupov, who the Oilers took first overall, and I hated that pick when they did it. Anyways, he said he was the worst interview he had ever had. He never would have picked him. It wouldn't matter where he was just an absolute jerk. He was arrogant. He didn't want to answer questions. He had a chip on his shoulder about everything, and he was just just terrible. And so he said it was the worst interview I ever had. He said I wouldn't have took him even if I wouldn't have took him anywhere in the first round. And the Oilers took him first overall.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah.
That being said, though, there was a lot of people in the Oilers organization that were saying don't pick him. And apparently the owner stepped in and said, I want him because he can be a 40-goal scorer. Don't worry about his attitude. He'll grow up, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes when the owner says something, and sometimes all the time, if an owner feels like that, you got to do what they do.
Exactly.
We don't know anything about that. An owner coming in and saying that we should do something. No, Flyers don't know anything about ownership doing that. Nope.
Yeah, we don't know anything about Schneider coming making decisions and all that
we don't
stuff.
know nothing about that at all. Nope.
No, definitely
That's
not.
completely foreign to us.
Ottawa seems to just be in one of the rooms in their arena, one of their big conference rooms for their draft headquarters. But again, this is another pick for the Sens. They got a chance to really have a very good draft here. The Ducks and Senators might be competing for who's going to be ranked where in the top 5 of best drafts, just because the Ducks had 2 picks. You got Sanderson and you got Stützle.
Maybe New Jersey.
And now you're going to get someone else.
New Jersey might overtake with their 3
New
picks.
Jersey rival with that too. It's going to be hard because nobody knows where. Not many people know where to put Shakir yet. So you got Holtz, you got Mercer, then you got Muka Madulin, who's not going to be the easiest guy to say by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, get practicing that, JJ.
What's he asking you? He's asking if you think Simon Holmstrom is going to be a bust. Since I don't really know who Holmstrom is, I'm thinking probably, possibly, but I mean, I don't know every prospect in the league.
I don't know.
Kevin was asking.
I don't know. Simon Holmstrom.
Tell me a little more about him. Was he a Ridley Gregg? Oh, they took the easy pick. They took the easy pick. Ridley Gregg is probably going to be in your third or fourth line, something like that. Pretty safe.
Holmstrom's the guy they picked last year in the mid-20s, 23rd overall. That's
was
the
he
kid
first overall?
No. 23rd overall.
No, I mean, he was in the first round, and I don't know him? That's weird.
Correct. He got picked in the... he plays in Sweden for Tranås. He's a pretty good lefty with size. He just needs to grow into it. This past season, he had... here we go. 15 points in 46 games when he came over in the AHL. When he already came over and he's only 19, but he's an offensive player who competes hard. He's a good skater. I feel like I remember reading stuff about him now. I remember reading stuff last year because I remember reading this from the Europe thing where he is a very good skater with explosiveness to his game, has good passing ability. From now remembering from my hockey news and different stuff I read about him and looking at his thing again, I would say bust. No. Will he be a 23rd overall pick? That remains later in the... If a guy becomes a great offensive-minded third liner, that's not the worst pick either.
Stamkos done? He's asking if Stamkos... I don't know. I hope not. I think he's probably going to get over this, but
he'll be back.
Apparently, it's one hell of an injury.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
I don't think he'll ever be what he was.
Real quick on Ridley Gregg. His dad is a scout for us, for the Flyers. Ridley Gregg. His dad is a scout for us. So he said, "Don't."
What's his first? What's his first name? This scout.
It didn't say what his dad's first name was. Just said his dad's.
I wonder if it's
But he told his dad not to
Randy.
pick him.
Randy
He told
did
his
pick-
dad not to pick him.
Really? So he's a normal
yeah,
kid?
Yeah.
They weren't going to pick him anyways, but he's a safe pick for Ottawa. I'm not really a fan, to tell you the honest truth. I think there's a lot. I would have taken that Russian kid, but where is he from? Does he?
Ridley's a pretty good pick, I think. He's a safe pick, like you
He's
said.
just a
but
safe pick. Yeah.
sometimes you gotta make those safe picks when. I mean, they already have enough good. I think Ottawa needs to mix in guys they know that are going to be good with guys they can take more of a chance on. So I don't think that's a terrible idea. You need to finally put something together, otherwise your fans are eventually going to completely lose interest in you.
Well,
So-
they already took the safest pick in the draft when they took Sanderson 5th overall, and then Stützle is one great. Is not really safe, but it just falls into.
Oh,
them.
yeah.
And
For
this one, I would have definitely taken Gunler or that Russian guy, somebody with some high skill, man. Why? I don't know. Randy Gregg, I can pick up those guys for, $1 million anytime I want on a team. Like guys that play like that, like Pitlick.
Yeah, I think they
guys like
wanted
that.
someone physical, would be my guess, with skill, because Craig is also not the slowest. He uses his energy to the best, because he just tries to outpower and out-energize everybody on the ice. So
He's
it's
an
gonna
energy bunny, and he's annoying too.
watch.
He's annoying. He's like he's a very annoying player. He's a pain in the ass, which is good. I love
Right.
those guys. Love those guys. Don't get me wrong. Players that other people don't like, I love.
Yep.
So because I love those
you
guys.
need to
that are just a
have
pain in the
to
butt.
have those guys on your team. You need those nudges. You need those pests. You need those guys that get
Yeah.
under the skin of
Absolutely.
the other team. You need that. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's part of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's part of the game.
Definitely. You definitely do. But they're easier to find than picking them in a first round.
Oh
is all
yeah,
I'm
well
saying.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying here is, I don't take a Ridley Gregg until the second or third at least. It's just the way, I don't know. Ottawa went really safe, and I'm kind of surprised.
So we got the Knights on the clock here.
Yeah,
Knights won't go safe. You can assure you that. I love that. They probably take Gunler all day, or that Russian or whatever.
Well, we'll see.
yeah, the Knights could be a team to really surprise you too, and pick somebody that you don't
Completely
even
off the
think is going to
reservation.
go. Yeah, like Bordelais or the one Russian kid. I'm just going to say Merritt, because I'm not trying to pronounce that. I use good names, pretty good last names, pretty good too.
Yeah, it's not really, but it's a bad core muscle injury, and you'd be surprised how much those can affect your career if they're really
but
bad.
now he's going to have some time where he can completely just step away and heal.
Brinson.
They took the first American off the board goes to the Vegas Golden Knights.
No, it's not. Yeah, that's a nice pick. That's a nice pick.
I wonder if he's in Vegas.
It'll be a while before
No,
he
I
gets
mean if
there,
he's in
but
there now.
It's not a bad pick. Before he gets to Vegas. Yeah.
It looks like he might be there now. Yeah,
in Vegas?
Like where they announced his selection, he looked like he was in some kind of hotel or something. Yeah.
Oh, really? Pure
Yeah,
playmaker.
He's Brinson's committed to Michigan, but he's from Manhattan Beach, California.
Okay.
So guess would be he's probably in California. He could be in Vegas, but my guess would be he's probably in California. He's another Energizer Bunny type guy that just keeps moving, knows how to get the pucks to everyone. He's one of my guys that I really like in the draft. Again, I think he reacts to the ice very well. Pat Brinson, again, is one of the higher known agents in the league. So I think he's a guy that's really learned the game well, grew up around the game. That's huge. So I think that he's going to be a steal for any team. And then that team ended up being Vegas. So I think he's going to be a very good pickup for them. And Dallas is going to be another team to see if they take a little bit of a chance on a guy that dropped that everybody isn't as high on as some others, and see if they take a chance on some of those guys. I could see Gunler being a Dallas pick too, since he keeps falling.
Yeah, they got a bunch of young guys like that we already saw, like Gunler, and they worked out pretty well for them.
That's for sure.
So
Yeah,
I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see him go in the first round. He looks like he has a really good game. He looks like he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be more of a project. You know what I mean? Like you just seem like he's going to need a little bit more time to come into the NHL game.
Everybody, all these guys,
and
pretty much
especially without any of the other leagues that are playing or not playing now. These guys are pretty. What are they doing right now?
Yeah, well, this kid's is still playing in high school, like so. U.S. Hockey League, which
this
is kind of like
guy here. He's a freshman at Michigan.
Michigan. Now
he is. Yeah.
He's going to be.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I thought he was already there. Okay, I'm sorry, my mistake.
He's not in college yet. Yeah, no. He's going there. So he's a project.
That's what
It'll
I
be
mean.
a while.
Yeah.
He's 3-4 years away.
Yeah. He's also the second Canadian, not Canadian.
Yeah,
American
I made the
to go,
correction.
'cause
Yep.
Anderson's American as well, from Whitefish, Montana, I believe. That is, if I'm not mistaken.
First?
The first American is technically Sanderson, who's from Whitefish.
Oh, is Sanderson? See, I never pay attention to where guys are from much, except for like the only time I do is if a team like St. Louis, I ask that because they like to take Western Canadian guys. But other than that, I usually don't even pay attention to where guys are from. That one year where it was all Americans, like you got like Americans had lots, like Turcotte and Caulfield and that goaltender Florida picked up Spencer Knight, and there was a whole bunch of them that year. I didn't know till afterwards, or till while I was watching it, that it was the most Americans picked in a draft. I never really pay attention to where people are from.
That was like 2 or 3 drafts ago or something like that, or that was the year when was that the year that Heischer went, or the year before that, I think, where there was the most Americans drafted in the 1 year. It was 2 or 3 years ago.
I think the first 3 or 4 picks were all Americans.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Weren't they? Something like that.
So Dallas on the clock. What do you think? Are they gonna is Anton Hudobin gonna be a free agent this year?
No, I don't know.
It seems like they're trying to re-sign him, which would then make me think they want Ottinger to play more in the minors and make him be completely 100% ready to cruise when he's called up.
Trade Bishop. Well, and trade Bishop, I guess.
Okay, so then Bishop will be the one that'll be available.
I don't know. It's an awkward situation if they sign him. I'd really just trade Bishop right away. Just trade Bishop right away.
What do you think Dallas is gonna?
You don't want a situation like what happened in Vegas with Fleury and Rainer.
Right. So Dallas, what do you think? Gosh, man, what do they need?
You know what? I think they're going to take Gunler here for sure. But then on the other hand, I think Gunler's going to slip down to the second round. Something wrong with that.
I think Paterka could go one of these two also because I think he's a safe guy that can play on both ends.
Well,
I've always
they took Maverick Bork.
Maverick. Okay, another guy that was projected right around here to the second round. So that makes sense
Okay,
as
cool.
well.
I'm not a huge Maverick Bork fan, so I think there's other guys I would have took here. But see what he turns out to.
Well, these guys, I mean.
Yeah, he was projected as high as Columbus on some mocks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was pretty sure Columbus wasn't going to take him for sure. I don't know what it is about his game. It's too perimeter. He plays too much from the perimeter. He's got to learn how to get into the spots. He's got a great shot. It's kind of like the reason why I'm not as fan of Quinn as everybody else is. Quinn's got an awesome shot, but in junior, you can work it from the outside and score a lot. In the NHL, you're not going to get away with that.
I agree with that. I do think he'll be able to grow a bit, though. I do think how they put him on here because he's not good at one thing. He's kind of just pretty solid at a couple different things. Kind of like if any old baseball people ever remember Jeff Kent in baseball. Wasn't great at one thing, was just good at a few different things. Yeah, also was kind of a pain in the ass, which if Bork grows into himself as a chance to be. Yeah, as well.
He's a pretty mild-mannered kid, though. I don't think he's
but if you grow into your body, he's playing. I think if you get in front of the net more and you get into that mindset by default makes you a little bit more aggressive than you were from the start. Because in order to get in front of the net,
Sterling's asking a great question here. Sorry, by the way. Who do you think? Where do you think Patrick Laine is going? That's a fantastic question.
Did you see my response?
That's right. I know one thing. I'm pretty sure Montreal's going to be all in on this, but I would have thought they would have used their first this year. But
maybe
they're going to want a defenseman, and that's the reason why Philly doesn't want to do it because
it's going to cost too much for us.
And that's also why I don't think New York is maybe going to do it because they don't have as good of a defensive.
Rangers or the Islanders, I don't think, as much as they'd like it to have the defense to be able to.
That's a really good point because they don't have the depth that we do in the defensive side. So it's going to be it's going to be rather creative. Whoever's going to get him is going to have to be creative about how they do it.
I'll tell you, a team that would love to have him, but I don't think they can give up the defense either. Would be the team that just picked up Domi.
Columbus Blue Jackets.
Columbus.
Columbus, definitely. Yeah. That can replace your Panarin that you lost.
Yeah, but I just don't think that they have the defense to give up either. Who does, though? Really, think about it. I mentioned it before. Dallas, but they have no
Dallas is interesting, but they just they don't have.
But they can send a player back. So, and I mentioned, I know it's kind of hard to think of him going now because of how good of a playoffs he had. But you got to give up something to get someone.
Right.
I always forget his name. I'm looking him up right now. John Klingberg.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because they've got Lindell, Alexiak. They just re-signed Sekera. Heiskanen, Fedun can play up a little bit. And I believe, and they got that Thomas Harley kid who played fantastic, only 19 years old. Bayreuther and Hetherington, but Thomas Harley and Joel Hanley. Thomas Harley. They could do it, and if there was one thing Dallas had a problem with was, well, not really, but when they played
A
against Tampa
team,
Bay.
yeah, a team that would have the money to do it. They might not have the defense core that Winnipeg would want, but if we're talking about money, Jersey
Yeah.
has the money. If they
Well,
expedite the rebuild
doesn't
process.
LA
They don't
doesn't
have
LA
the
have
defense.
money?
LA also has the money.
Buffalo has money.
I don't. Buffalo.
LA is an interesting one that I never really thought about it.
Yeah. What about Arizona? Arizona's got money.
But
too,
their
I guess.
defense prospects
I
are
don't. No, I don't think with Arizona because Arizona seems like they're trying to get rid of some funds. I don't think they would take.
and they don't have much. They have no cap space.
Okay,
so.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, LA.
Yeah, you would think that they have tons because their team sucks. Oh, they took Ozzy Weisblad. Remember I was talking about him? Nice
Wow.
pick.
There
I
you
like
go.
that pick. I like that pick. Ozzy Weisblad.
Off the board, he got in the first round. Congratulations to him. It's nice to see certain kids. You can see. Also, that was a great shot for whoever's watching on NBC Sports' family. It looks like they're in the middle of a rave.
Yeah, right.
After Ozzy got picked, they have his whole family jumping around in like mosh pit style there. So that was pretty fun to look at as
Did
well.
I
But
miss
yeah,
a pick, by the way, while we were talking?
What?
Who picked 30? Vegas?
Yeah, the Golden Knights.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, that was the pick of Brinson was the Golden Knights. Maverick Bjork was
Right,
Dallas.
and then it was Ozzy Weisblad.
Ozzy now, yeah.
So, great pick.
See, now, I like Ozzy Weisblad over Maverick Bork because he's smaller than Maverick Bork, but goes to the net. Like, you look at where he's scoring from. He scores from the areas where you need to score. That's what I like about him. He's small, but he's not afraid. He'll go where he needs to go. So that's why I like him a little more. But nice pick. And that was
I agree. Great pick.
I mean, when you have he also had 73 points as a U15 kid. So he came in as a 15-year-old in Calgary and played very well. So last year he had 70 points. So yeah, he's a guy. When Steve brought him up, I looked into him more because he brought him up a couple weeks ago as a guy you liked a little bit higher, like I like Peterka and others. Brinson, who got picked, congratulations to him too in the first round. Better than some people. So congratulations. It's nice to see kids that are projected anywhere from end of first to second to really get picked in the first, because also it does help you with slot money. So if you're somebody that has a family that has some financial trouble too, that does really help you out getting a pick in the first round, even towards the end, than getting picked, say, fifth in the second round.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, boys and girls, I got to tell you, this has been really fun, man. We got the whole first round live. How about that?
Yeah.
First time ever.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
But at the end, I will give an update for anyone that's also into baseball. At the end of our draft coverage here, we got 7-4. Tampa has a chance to even up the series. It's the sixth inning in a game with a lot of scoring, so it's moving pretty snail's pace with a lot of pitching changes too. And then the other one is zip in the bottom of the second between the Dodgers and Padres there, which another pitcher is already for San Diego. So I haven't been paying attention to it. I wonder if Clevenger got injured or if they just rolled with him as an opener because they knew he was still banged up and maybe they didn't want him to pitch more than one inning. That's going to be interesting what happened there. But yeah, overall, this was a great draft. The one thing I was wondering is Sanderson, your guys' biggest surprise pick? Because I was just wondering before we go who we think the biggest surprise pick was. That's what I was kind of wondering.
It's either
from
Sanderson
you two.
or Buffalo taking Quinn.
Who was the pick that Washington did? Was that Sanderson? Who was the?
No, Ottawa.
Ottawa picked Sanderson.
Captain of
DC. DC
Ottawa.
picked Henrik
Yeah, that's the
Laperriere.
one I
Yeah.
think is going to be that's the one I think is going to be the steal right there. That's the surprise pick for me.
Steal, yeah. The surprise, though, meaning like,
Well,
I
yeah,
can't
I
believe
can't
they
believe
took
they
that
picked
guy.
him because I honestly thought he was going to go sooner. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think mine's moved up a little, and yeah, the guy from the Devils. I didn't expect
Yeah,
him to
that's
get
another one.
picked before some of the other defensemen
Well,
that went.
Columbus's pick is way off the board. I'd never even heard of the guy before.
Janakov is another guy way off the board. Yeah, you don't expect him to get picked either. That's another really good pool. But
But I'm
also,
telling you, everybody in the league is shaking now because they know that he's going to be like one of the best guys in the draft because of who picked him.
Exactly.
He's just that good. Yeah,
You
Kekalainen.
got a
yeah,
little.
and there's a lot of fun guys.
Yep.
There's a lot of fun guys tomorrow, too, coming into this second round with guys that did not get picked in
That
this
starts
first
in
round.
the afternoon, right? I'll probably
I
go
think
live.
11:30. I think it might honestly be 11:30 a.m. Eastern, so it's pretty early for you if that is
9:30. Good. I
Yeah.
can start my
There
live
you
early
go.
in the morning.
And with that, folks, what a blessing. Going to thank everybody for tuning in and for watching. Thank you to Pearlo. Thank you to Joe. It was great being here with you guys for the first round of the draft. This was great stuff. Can't wait to do this again. Pearlo, how can we follow you? How can we get a hold of you?
I don't know. Nobody's
Okay.
listening, so you can follow me. Our Sterling left. Steel
Yep.
Flyers, man.
Sterling
Look at
Fly-
that right there. Right on the banner,
right.
right there. Steel Flyers. Go check it out. Find Steel Flyers friends, and you'll see me there. And we'll be building that website into amazing
You
things.
got it.
Amazing,
You got
amazing.
it for sure.
things. You want to talk about a sports? You want to talk about a sports website that's going to blow all the other websites out of the water? And there's some really good ones out there because
We go to 'em.
I watch them all.
We go to them.
But
Right.
yeah, we go to them. We love them. But this is going to mash them all together into one big conglomerate
Yep,
of awesomeness.
you got it.
You're going to love it.
All right, gentlemen. It's been a slice. We'll catch you all later. Remember to stay safe, stay strong, and hang tough.